Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees an awards darling coming home in The Whale, hitting store shelves along with the dramatic comedy A Man Called Otto, the more dramatic based on true story events like Women Talking. Zombies are finally calling it quits with the final season of The Walking Dead, and Shout Factory is releasing a Blu-ray edition of the 1984 horror indie darling gem, Razorback. Plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got.
All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and I don't know about you, but I definitely see a little bit of new release love. Oh, yes. Walmart is living up to the potential, hopefully, but hey, it's been some weeks where they've done good. We won't give them the award just yet, but they're well on their way. Oh, you bet your ass they are. Some nice physical media love we're checking out. So let's dive in with none other than, yes, a little bit of dramatic love for The Whale. The DVD for $12.96. Yes, man. Oh, boy, this movie, man. The tears and the drama. Oh, my God, man. This laid it on pretty damn thick. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. I watched it with my girlfriend, but in all reality, I kind of wanted to watch it in the movie theater. I just didn't really get a chance to. There was so many movies coming out around that time, and with work and everything else that I got going on in my life, I had to be picky and choosy, and The Whale just kind of got left by the wayside. Trust me, I'm kind of pissed. All right, but I still wanted to watch it regardless because of all of the award season love that it had been getting. A lot of notice, people really talking about the performance from Brendan Fraser, and I'm like, okay, I mean, people are showing this movie the love. It can't be bad, right? I mean, well, at least I was hoping. So I finally got a chance to watch it, and it is about Charlie, Brendan Fraser, who has really just dived into a world of obesity and self-loathing and depression, and he realizes that he doesn't have much time left on this earth, and he wants to try to get to know his estranged daughter and settle things in his life, bring things to a close, a satisfying ending for him, and all of the complications and the drama that goes from there. And let me tell you guys something, this movie is absolutely phenomenal. It is amazing in the directing, in the acting, in the story, in the dialogue. It is absolutely pitch perfect cinema at its finest. There is no doubt about that, man. At the end of this movie, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was crying. Tears were coming down my face. My girlfriend was crying, and she was emotional as all hell. She was triggered by a lot of things in this movie that really has happened to her in her own life, and how it really just felt like it hit home in so many ways. And honestly, for me too, it's crazy how much you really relate to this film and the struggles of Charlie. And that comes down to just how well done this movie is, how well made it is, how well structured. It really is a true slice of wonderful cinema, man. It's just absolutely astounding to me. And I got really emotional. You get raw with emotion with this, man. It is heartbreaking. It is heartfelt. It is dramatic. It is depressing. And yet, at the same time, it's extremely life-affirming and joyous. And you can really feel the passion. I loved every second of this film. Even moments where my heart was breaking for Charlie. I felt like, dude, this is gripping cinema at its most precise. It's absolutely amazing in every single sense of the word, man. This is a true piece of cinema. Now, I don't want to burst your bubble necessarily, but Michael Bay doing piss and shit jokes with the Transformers is not cinema. This is true cinema, man. At the end of the day, I am a meat and potatoes guy, man. Give me a good drama with intriguing characters and a plot that I can really be emotionally invested in, and you've got me hooked, man. And The Whale is one of those movies. I thought everything was so expertly done with this. The makeup, the special effects with the bodysuit, the acting, the cinematography, all of the actors, to Brendan Fraser, all the way down. It is a phenomenal piece of movie making, and I loved every single microsecond of this. And man, did it just get me in the feels in a big bad way, dude. This is what cinema is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel emotions that you've never felt before or haven't felt in a long time. It's supposed to really bring to light things in the world that we really need to focus on, and things that we don't rarely ever confront. And this is one of those movies, man. I cannot recommend this movie enough. And if you really want an emotional roller coaster, watch The Whale, because I guarantee you that you are absolutely gonna get it. Meet the grumpiest man in America. Wait a minute. Tom Hanks? There's something wrong with that. Said no one ever, but apparently we're doing it in a man called Otto. The Blu-ray digital for $22.96, the DVD for $17.96. Ah, yes. A little bit of Tom Hanks love never hurt nobody, man. Especially when I went to go to the movie theaters to see it with my mother. Ah, yes. You know, I don't see everything with my mother anymore. Lord knows she doesn't like going to the movie theaters and seeing people talking and being interrupted with her movie viewing experience, and I can't quite say I blame her. But there's certain movies, when I look at a trailer, I just know that my mother's gonna like it. I don't know why. It's just a sense. It's a feeling. It's a gift, folks. And so I said to my mother, we're gonna go see this movie together. She's like, oh, okay. And we did. And basically, it is about Otto. Yes, Tom Hanks right there, man. Look at that scowl. And he is a widower, and he's living in this apartment complex, duplex, and he's just kind of going about his daily life, being grumpy and mean to people and condescending, and just wants to be left alone, man. And this really great, nice, pregnant Latino chick and her family is trying to sort of be nice to Otto, you know, be neighborly, and Otto is not having any of it, man. He just doesn't want to do it. Just leave me alone, will ya? And they slowly but surely start to really get into his life and try to uplift his spirits, and Otto starts to sort of break out of his shell. The once grumpy man is becoming slightly less grumpy and opening his heart just a little bit more. Oh, yes, indeed he is, man. And I got to admit something. I don't know what I was really expecting with this movie. It's a remake of a Swedish film from 2015 called A Man Called Ove, which I had never heard of. So I was like, okay, an American remake of an international film. That doesn't always go the greatest. So I'm like, all right, I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go necessarily, but I like Tom Hanks. I'm willing to try at least. And when I left the movie theater, I was thoroughly impressed by this movie. I'm not gonna lie, man. I really dug the hell out of this film. I thought it was humorous. It was heartfelt. I really loved the performances, and it gets you really emotional. When the end credits came up and the house lights started to rise, I ended up looking over at my mother, and she is in tears. She is a ball of just absolute teary eyes, man. And she was crying her eyes out. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what did I do to my mother? I was like, oh Lord. I'm like, Ma, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I just love this movie. And it really got to me. And it was so emotionally impactful for her. And I think she just really loved the story of a man who had dealt with such loss in his life and had become so bitter that to finally open up and accept love again in his heart, man, she loved that story. And hell, so did I, man. I don't know if I got as emotional as my mother did, but I did. Tears were welling up a bit, man. I mean, it's not as much teary-eyed as what I got with the whale, but damn, it was pretty close, dude. I love this story. I love Tom Hanks's performance. I love the messaging of this movie about love and opening up your heart and the idea that, yes, you've had pain and tragedy in your life, but that is not what defines you. There is so much to really love and live for in this world, and the fact that even if it's later in life, you can still find it. Man, I love that so much. I just thought there was some really great, funny, heartfelt moments. You really feel for the characters. It's heartwarming, and you really spend 2 hours with these characters that you really care about and love and can laugh with and can cry with. It is absolutely phenomenal, man. I know a lot of people slept on this movie. A lot of people, quite frankly, maybe kind of stayed away because it wasn't such a high profile film. But let me tell you something, man. This is a winner in every single way, man. You will laugh, you will cry, you will feel joyous, and you will walk away feeling like your 2 hours was not wasted, man. Trust me, my mother loves this movie, and Lord knows she's watched a lot of movies in her time with a lot of great dramatic performances, and this one I think is right up there. I think because she's older and she's 72 now, I think she looks at movies like this in a different light than maybe she used to, being older and being set in your ways and still finding joy and the purpose of life. It's so well done, so masterfully acted, and the storytelling is brilliant, and it is definitely a really great time at the movies. It's time to represent the zombie love in The Walking Dead, the complete 11th and, oh, by the way, final season. The Blu-ray digital for $34.96, the DVD for $29.96. Ah, yes, The Walking Dead comes to an end. Sad but true, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're shedding a tear in a big bad way. Oh, baby. You know, look, I'm gonna be honest, man. I told you guys this many times before, but I walked away from this show around season 7, season 8, somewhere around there. When they killed off Carl, I was done, dude. I'm like, seriously, man? I was like, okay, I kind of liked some of the stuff you were doing, and some of the stuff I kind of was really happy with. It was kind of a mixed bag towards the time that I was leaving, but I kind of felt the peak of it was when Negan ended up killing off Glenn. I mean, when that was going on and the baseball bat stuff, that was like the height of the Walking Dead phenomenon, man. And it kind of slowly but surely was starting to die from there just a little bit, at least in my opinion. And by the time I left, man, I was really losing interest in a big bad way. So I bounced, right? I was gone. I mean, I loved the show for a long time, but I just couldn't stick around any longer. But then everybody kept saying to me, well, it actually got better. There was so many really great evil new characters, and they were evolving the zombies a little bit, and some of the new intriguing likable good guy characters, and Daryl Dixon is still badass, and Carol and everybody, and I'm like, okay, God, you kind of got me intrigued, damn it. But I still decided, you know, well, look, I'm not going to dive back in right away, man. I'm just kind of going to wait till it is all over and it ends. And now we are officially here. And I got to admit, it's kind of bittersweet because I'm never going to see another, like, The Walking Dead, the complete 12, 13, 14 season. And I'm kind of like, ah, dude. There was something kind of comforting about every year knowing that you're going to get a new season of Walking Dead on physical media, man. It's kind of feels kind of empty now, man. It kind of does, dude. But I get it. This show needed to end at some point, dude. It was kind of dragging its heels for a long time and just going on and on and on. And at some point, you just got to finish this sumbitch, right? And even though I didn't watch any of this season, and Lord knows I haven't watched the last, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 so seasons. I was still kind of like sad that it was sort of leaving the TV realm. But then again, I ended up seeing all of these people on YouTube and the message boards talking about it, and how this final season kind of let them down in a big bad way. Oh yeah, I kind of heard a lot of bad things about this season, man. Stupid character decisions, and the idea of really evolving the zombies to this really intellectual level, only to do it in the last season and not really doing much with it, just an extra add-on that really meant nothing. On top of that, unsatisfying endings for a lot of these characters and the story, and it just felt like it didn't really pack the punch that people were really hoping it was going to do. And a part of me is sort of saddened by that, and another part of me is kind of like, I kind of told you so. Yeah, just a wee bit, man. I mean, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer necessarily, but I mean, I kind of predicted that this was not going to end in any satisfying way, man. When you make a zombie show, it's not like there's a plan that it's going to end and you're going to end in like, oh my God, they're going to end the zombie plague and there's going to be a mysterious medicine that's going to come along and everybody's going to be cured and it's going to kill the evil zombies. Like, that shit doesn't happen, man. And I kind of feel like The Walking Dead was just continuing to go on and on and on with no exact set way to end this thing or to properly come to any sort of resolution or satisfying conclusion. And so when they really had to, I kind of felt like they probably were gonna drop the ball, and from what I'm hearing, they did. Now again, I do want to watch this, man. Now that it is all completely over and done, I do want to go back and probably start with season 7 or 8, something like that, and start watching it all the way through again and seeing the good, bad, and different, what works, what doesn't, what characters I like, what characters I'm like, Jesus, man, can they just kill those bitches already? You know, all that jazz. But I kind of know now, at least ahead of time, that the ending is not going to be satisfying. The fact that there really is no ending to this, and the fact that just people go off and go on different adventures, and that's it, man. And yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I've always liked The Walking Dead to a certain aspect. I've always loved the comic books, and the show has always intrigued me and always had very interesting storylines with, obviously, Negan and the governor and everything like that. Some really great bad guys, and from what I hear, some really great bad guys even in the later seasons. But it's kind of all for naught when the final season doesn't really deliver the way you want it to, especially the finale. And when that happens, you kind of feel like you've been cheated a little bit. You've been kind of frustrated, the fact that you put so much time and effort, like 12 or 13 years into a show that ultimately didn't work itself out properly. That really sucks, dude. Like I said, I will eventually get to watching it now when it's all over. But to say that I'm expecting some sort of satisfying resolution, something that I really feel like I've really invested my time and it's paid off, something tells me that's really not gonna happen, man. Not at all. I will always love The Walking Dead for it being such a really great show and really innovative show for the time that it started, but now it's just kind of spinning its wheels, man. The Walking Dead was once great, maybe at one time after I stopped watching became great again, but now it's just average and mundane, and not all that surprisingly kind of lost its wheels towards the end. That's what happens with the zombies eventually. They're really cool, and then they eventually let you down. Limp dick? That's one way of putting it. Nobody puts Ryan Phillippe in a corner in The Locksmith. There's the DVD for $12.96. I mean, come on. Ryan Phillippe, Kate Bosworth, Ving Rhames. That's a cast, man. Straight to DVD gold, perhaps? Because you can unlock the courage to face your enemy. Though you bet your ass you can. An expert locksmith is released from prison. Wait a minute. You can go to prison for being a locksmith? Shit. Glad I didn't pick that profession. Oh, my lord, man. and pulls back into a world of crooked cops and small-town gangsters. Despite the future he hoped to build with his ex-girlfriend, Kate Bosworth, a detective, and their daughter. Yes, oh yes, back within the crooked realm of petty crime. Well, I don't know. It's Ryan Phillippe, man. If he's getting into petty crime, man, he's doing it all wrong. Oh, he really is, dude. Interesting sort of prison crime drama, perhaps? Getting back into his old ways and perhaps the cat and mouse game with the detective, Ving Rhames, perhaps? Ooh, I'm hoping, man. I do like that synopsis, man, and I love the actor. Well, everyone but Kate Bosworth. Kate Bosworth isn't bad, all things considered, but I mean, she ain't the greatest either, put it that way. I mean, last thing I saw her in was that Antonio Banderas Mexican cartel movie where she was supposed to be like the head of the cartel, and I'm thinking like, Kate Bosworth, really? Jeez, I'd be more afraid of her forehead than I would her acting abilities. Oh, my lord, man. But look, she has her moments. Ryan Phillippe is really great, and I remember when Ryan Phillippe was a big fucking deal, man. He was like the hottest shit in Hollywood, and now he's just making like straight to DVD flicks. But to be fair, I think he's not bad in the straight to DVD realm. I mean, Lord knows he's not like, oh, I don't know, Bruce Willis. Or some of the other ones out there that are less savory, like Emil Hirsch. You know, I mean, at least he's better than some of those guys, like John Cusack. He's got his not-so-great moments, but for the most part, I think he picks some intriguing projects. And Ving Rhames, dude, I've loved Ving Rhames for a long time, man. The Mission Impossible movies are great. I love him in the remake to Dawn of the Dead. He's so fucking badass in that, dude. He is a great actor, man, and he always brings it. Even in the straight-to-DVD stuff, man, he still does as well. It looks intriguing, interesting. Maybe there's some decent acting involved with this. Look, I'm not expecting much out of any straight-to-DVD film anymore. Lord knows I've seen enough of these damn things to choke a horse. All right? I really have. And man, I have seen some very interesting pictures from time to time. Yeah, if that's what you want to call it, man. More like a hot turd burgers. It's been real bad, dude. So if you can at least just give me an entertaining movie that at least doesn't feel like I've wasted an hour and a half of my time, then I'll take it, man. Oh, please, God. Another disappointing movie, straight to DVD flick. Oh, man, I've been disappointed so many times. I'm just expecting it at this point. Let's hope this kind of bucks the trend. Glorious. Ah, yes. Wow, look at that fucking cover, man. Jesus Christ, does that stand out in a crowd? Holy shit. I mean, out of all these covers, which one stands out the most? Yeah, exactly. Whoa! My God, man, a Shudder original. You don't say. Ryan Quanten, J.K. Simmons, a DVD for $9.96. Jeez, I hope he's not on drugs, because if he is, man, I'd quit real fast. Holy hell, I would, man. It's either drugs or it's a little bit of creature feature, perhaps. H.P. Lovecraft? Oh, well, spoiler, it's more H.P. Lovecraft. Yes, it is. Look, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, man, because the cover got me, all right? And J.K. Simmons, look, dude, J.K. Simmons, I love the dude, man. Back in the day, watching Oz and, of course, the Spider-Man movies and Whiplash and so many great flicks that he was a part of, man. Still is. Dude, he's great. So I'm like, J.K. Simmons is in this. A Shudder original that has an Academy Award-winning actor in it? Okay, I gotta check this out, dude. Ryan Quanten, taking him to leave him, but J.K. Simmons, dude, that's okay. You got me with that name alone. So look, I'm game, all right. And basically, the movie's about Wes. Yeah, that crazy looking motherfucker right there, man, played by Ryan Quanten, and he's getting out of a bad breakup, and he's in all kinds of distress, all right? And he is just driving to God knows where. He stops at this rest stop bathroom area, spends the night there, drinking like crazy, bonfire, wakes up the next day, and he is just hanged over like a motherfucker, man. His pants are off, God knows what happened to those. And he's like, dude, I just got to get myself back together. I'm going to go in the bathroom, try to wash my face, take a piss, just the average stuff, and then start anew, I suppose. Well, yeah, that's if you can get out of the bathroom. You see, he's kind of locked in with this other potential person next to him in the other stall who's kind of talking to him. And eventually that person, well, yeah, they're kind of like this weird Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft creature that wants something from him. And basically it's the push and pull, the back and forth, the complications of, well, is it in his head? Is this really happening? And if so, and what the fuck do you do trying to reason with a creature like that? Good luck with that situation. You bet your ass, dude, because I wouldn't want to be in it. But I'm glad Ryan Quanten is. You bet your ass, man. Look, I will say this. The movie isn't bad. I mean, all things considered, if we're being reasonable here, like, as far as Shudder originals go, it's actually pretty decent. I like the back and forth between Ryan and JK. At first, he just thinks it's this average person in the stall trying to maybe be nice to him and be helpful, and suddenly it turns into something a little bit more sinister. And then when he finally realizes that he's dealing with this weird, fucked up Lovecraftian creature, man, it just goes tits up from there, man. It really does, dude. And I like Ryan Quanten's sort of manic mania that he has in this movie, man. He's really good at it. And I like J.K. Simmons' more calm demeanor, just casually talking with him, knowing that basically he's gonna get what he wants in the end. I mean, it's pretty much fucking inevitable. So if he has to fuck with this guy more, fine, whatever, but at the end of the day, he'll do his bidding. He truly will, man. And I gotta admit, I like the design of the creature. Very, very Lovecraftian, with all the tentacles and the weird eyes and shit. Like, that's really cool, man. And even if it's set in that one location, I thought they used the one location pretty effectively overall, man. The problem is that the movie just doesn't dive into it enough. I mean, the movie is less than 90 minutes. It's like 80, 85 tops. And we're just speed rolling through this motherfucker as fast as we possibly can. You just don't get to know anybody or understand their motivations. There's twists and turns that happen at the drop of a hat that they don't explore at all. They just go on to the next thing. There's plot holes, there's character motivations that just come out of nowhere for no fucking reason whatsoever, and it's just not handled right. I mean, there's some interesting aspects of this. Yes, this story has been done a time or two. Of course it has. Shudder doesn't exactly do anything original, even though they call it an original. Yeah, right. You know how Shudder rolls. Exactly. We all do at this point, man. But to me, the performances are fine. The creature effects are fine. The explanation of why the creature is there makes no fucking sense. And even if it's all in his head, man, he came up with some weird way of, like, trying to kill himself, dude. Like, thinking that it's this weird Lovecraftian Cthulhu creature and it wants his liver, and, like, dude, I mean, there's less complicated ways to just off yourself. I mean, just saying, man. Shit. You don't know whether it's real or not, and I like that aspect to it, that you're still sort of questioning that at the end of the day, but there's a lot of stuff in this movie that is just there for the sake of being there. It's trying to be a little bit of a horror comedy as well, but it's not really succeeding in that. I like when it just gets really bizarre and weird. That's when I really fucking like it, man. But when it gets trying to be sort of comedic, it kind of fails a little bit, man. I mean, that being said, the blood and gore is fantastic here. There's one scene where the creature is literally eating somebody, and it's almost like it's fucking raining blood all over the place, literally devouring the motherfucker. And I just love how the rain is just coming down in blood drops, and how it's literally this operatic moment of rain, but it's like somebody's bodily fluids all over the place. Like, that's really fucking cool, man. I love the gore, I love the blood effects. I even did dig some of the twists and turns, but they just don't really explore it the way I think you could have done psychologically and mess this guy's head up. and what this creature is really doing to his mind and messing with him. I mean, there's this whole storyline twist where he is potentially this serial killer and he's killed a lot of these women, and that's why the breakup is going on, and that's fascinating. That's an interesting idea, but they just bring it up and they never really pay it off. It's just there for the sake of being there, and that sucks donkey balls. I mean, it really does, man. I mean, look, I didn't want a 2 or 3 hour extravaganza like a PSA about the dangers of hanging out with a Cthulhu creature. I didn't want that shit. But I wanted something a little bit more thorough, a little bit less plain. I wanted a little bit something more crazier and more wild, and the explorations of insanity and somebody who has killed people who is now getting their comeuppance. I wanted something that was a little bit more devious, and it's all just very surface level, and that's what sucks, because there's some really great moments that you really feel like this is something special, but then it just kind of lays there flat on its back, lifeless, doing nothing, like a dead fish. And that just fucking blows, dude. There's moments of greatness, but few and far between, and just kind of languishes in, well, it could have been better, but, and yeah, it's kind of shutter overall. I mean, I like the whole color palette. I mean, even the cover here looks very From Beyond, right? Like that Stuart Gordon movie, man, with the lush like pinks and purples and shit. But if you're thinking this is From Beyond, you are sadly mistaken. Potential, yeah. Lost potential, abso-fucking-lutely. Let's put it this way. If you want to hang out with a weird Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft style creature, watch From Beyond, watch Dagon, Color Out of Space, Call Girl of Cthulhu. Anything but this. If you want to spend less than 90 minutes hanging out with a creature on the crapper, be my guest. Well, look at this. Some more faith-based goodness. Oh, Walmart, you never seem to disappoint me. Oh, man. Pure flicks, faith and entertainment love with 5,000 blankets and Moonrise. Okay. Inspired by an incredible true story, you don't say. We have to believe we can make a change. I'd like to believe that's possible, but Lord knows I've been on this planet enough to know different. Bet your ass, dude. Inspired by an incredible true story. Movement, homeless. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like faith-based and helping out the homeless and finding purpose in life. Okay, I can't quite fault you, man. It's an honorable cause, okay? I'm not faith-based goodness, but I can't fault this movie too much. I'm not gonna make fun of it, dude. I could, trust me, but hey, as long as we're helping out the homeless, I don't care whether you're faith-based or not, it's a worthy cause, okay? Ah, damn. You escaped my wrath. Oh, you did, dude. It is what it is, man. I mean, they got that, but doesn't mean I can't make fun of this. Ooh, Moonrise, baby. Oh, and the Dove Love. Oh, you bet your ass, man. It just got even sweeter. Country singer Will Brown pushed away his family fame and faith after his wife's death. Wait a minute. Isn't that how most of these sort of country faith movies start? There's like a death and there's redemption and then all the country music in between. Oh yeah, so you're just going by the numbers, aren't you? Ah yes, don't deviate from the trend. Wash, rinse, repeat apparently. Oh, you bet your ass, man. It's his daughter's, assuming birthday, horse trainer, live life again. And original country music as well from Granger Smith. Not like I've heard of the dude. Should I have? I'm not really a country music fan. Sorry, not really my thing. I mean, I like some of the music. Shania Twain, Faith Hill, Don't Break My Heart, My Achy Breaky Heart. Something like that. Oh man, you notice that it's always with country music, right? That there's always these faith-based movies, man. You never get that shit with something like, I don't know, heavy metal. Like screamo black death metal and shit. Like, I would love a movie about the members of Slipknot, like, finding God and correcting their evil ways. Oh, dude, that would be all kinds of entertainment. Not sure it'd be Dove Love, but shit, I'd get a kick out of it. I bet your ass it would. I don't know. I've seen a lot of these faith-based movies. I've seen a lot of country music faith-based movies. Some are better than others. Like, I Still Believe, I think, is a really great movie. But then again, there's others that are just way too preachy and just overdoing it, just laying it on thick, man. And I kind of feel like these ones are kind of like that, man. Pure Flix is purely in the faith-based entertainment genre. And I get it. It's a huge genre. It makes millions upon billions of dollars, man. Boy, people really love this shit. Not for me, but hey, somebody's gonna watch this crap. If you're into country and faith, hell, this'll be your jam. Can't quite say it's me, but hey, have at it, folks. Have at it indeed, man. But hey, I mean, let's be real. We did have the physical media goodness, and even though some things aren't my jam, I think a lot of it definitely is. Ooh, with all this physical media gold, is that it? Or is there just a wee bit more? Oh, you bet your ass there is. Ah, yes. I mean, of course there is. This Walmart has definitely been doing their due diligence on physical media, and if they didn't have more, you bet your ass I was coming after them. Ah, yes. But no need to, because they're supplying the love just like I want them to. Ah, with none other than more physical media goodness like Alice Darling, the DVD for $12.96. Ah, some Anna Kendrick love. Don't mind if I do. Ah, yes, man. This is an interesting movie. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I like Anna Kendrick. That's what brought me to the party, but I like the intriguing story of this woman who... she is going away to this getaway with her friends, and yet at the same time she's very apprehensive about it. She's not acting like her normal usual self. What's going on with her? What's happening? And you realize that she is in this, what she assumes is this really great relationship with her boyfriend. But it's anything but. He's very controlling, manipulative, and it's her journey of really trying to figure out what he's been doing to her and the psychological damage that has been done to her, and will she stay with him, or will she finally get out of this toxic relationship for good, and all the complications that are in between, man. Yes. And I got to admit, I actually really like this movie. I thought it was going to be very much thick on the melodrama, and it kind of is, but I like the idea of her friends really being, yes, supportive, but also really tough as nails and very much taking the piss out of her. And I like that. The idea that they're not going to take her shit. They're going to call her on her crap. And I really like that, man. And I really like the journey that she goes on. Yes, realizing that she wants to be in this relationship, that she's afraid of what will happen if she gets out of this relationship. Will anybody love her? What will happen to her? But at the same time, recounting all of the times where he kind of made this little comment here or this little suggestion there, and slowly but surely getting in her head and controlling her way of life and who she is and how she interacts with people, or even who she interacts with. And I really love that, man. I thought Anna Kendrick was really great here, very dramatic. I love what she was able to do with the role, bring a little bit of dark side to this character, the underneath of all the trauma that's happened, man. And I love the manipulative boyfriend, this guy that, seems very cheeky and nice because he's British, right? But that's sort of the veneer, man. And once you take that off, you realize that this guy is dangerous, man. And I love that. I mean, it's not like this movie breaks the bank in any way. There's many movies that are like this, about manipulative guys and abusive relationships. So it's not that it's sort of, reinventing the wheel necessarily, but it does a good job telling a very concise and contained story, which I really liked, man. And for the most part, the acting is really well done. The story was well executed. I liked the payoffs and the resolutions, and it was a decent time watching it. Not exactly the most intriguing or thrilling thing I'll ever watch, but for an hour and half-ish, yeah, it definitely did the trick, man. If you're looking for more Anna Kendrick love, you can continue to watch the Pitch Perfect movies, nothing wrong with it, but if you want a little bit of dramatic Anna Kendrick love, Alice Darling definitely does the trick. The drama sure is thick in Women Talking, the DVD for $17.96, yes. In fact, I should say Academy Award-winning Women Talking, yes. Adapted screenplay, congratulations to the movie, man. And I'd like to think very well-deserved indeed. Oh, yes, man. Inspired by true events. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I stayed away from this movie, right? Because I heard a lot of people say that this movie was absolutely boring, it was mundane, it was dull, and I was like, oh god, no, man. With all this great talent, Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Ben Whishaw, Frances McDormand, I mean, directed by Sarah Polley, god, it can't be that bad, is it? And everyone's saying, oh man, this is a real dumpster fire, and I'm like, oh no. So I was like, oh god, I guess I'm not gonna watch it in the movie theater. So I decided, shit, I'll just wait till Prime. And after watching it, I gotta admit, I don't know what the fuck people are thinking, dude. I really like this movie. I mean, I do, dude. Everybody's saying it's boring or mundane. I'm like, I don't know what you were watching, because I really liked it, man. I mean, basically, it's about this old school religious community, almost like the Amish or something, where there has been this constant thread of rape and abuse by all of these men to the women, and they all kind of played it off as, well, it's their imagination and they're dreaming it, or it's Satan, it is the devil. You know, of course, that same old bullshit. And eventually they catch a couple of the people that are doing the deed. They confess about what's going on, and these guys end up going to prison for a few days. They're about to get out on bail, and these women have to decide, are they going to stay in this community or are they going to leave? And the threat and the danger of staying, but also the unpredictability of going, and you don't know what's out there and what you're stepping yourself into, and all of the complications and the drama and the stress that goes along with that. And these women are basically deciding not only their fate, but the fate of the entire community itself. And I thought it was extremely powerful. I thought the acting was really amazing. I had a really great time with this movie, and I love the idea of seeing the different points of view of the different women. Some that are really scared, others who are willing to stay and fight, while others are pretty much like, look, we just got to go and build a new life outside of this. And if other people are willing to join us, great, but we've got to make a life for ourselves where we are safe and our children are safe. And I love the dichotomy of that, and the opinions and the points of views, and I love how they framed the arguments. I thought it was really brilliantly set up and brilliantly well done, man. And it reminded me very much of another movie that I really love, and that's 12 Angry Men. Being in this courtroom and deciding this person's fate, and everybody having a different point of view, and how one person's change of perspective can really affect everyone else around them. I really love that idea and the drama that comes with that and the intrigue that comes with that. I thought it was really great. I thought the acting was phenomenal. The directing was spot on. I was never bored for a single second. I was intrigued. I was thrilled about where are their decisions lying? What is ultimately going to happen with this, man? And I didn't know where it was going to go. I wasn't sure. I mean, I get where the argument can be where you're just basically sitting around a table and seeing people talking about their dilemma and not seeing them actively deal with their dilemma. I mean, I get it, and I understand how that could be boring and mundane, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen. But I love the intrigue of people just talking, and how that simple thing, if done right, can be very dramatic and very interesting. It's not always done that way, but I love movies like Clerks or My Dinner with Andre, which I know a lot of people find boring, but I find intriguing, man. Just people talking about life. And it's weird to say that a movie like this is much more fascinating than any straight-to-DVD action flick, but it is because of how it's filmed and how it's acted and how you can make a really great dramatic effect out of someone just stating their opinion. And that alone really gets me intrigued, man. And that's why I really like this movie a lot. I mean, yes, based on a true story, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good, man. You still need the great actors to bring it to life and a director that's going to know how to shoot it to really make it feel life-threatening for these women, that a simple decision could ruin their entire lives. I really loved it, and I thought it was extremely powerful, and it is a movie definitely worth talking about, worth mentioning, worth watching. It's not an easy subject matter, but when you deal with it in an entertaining way, I think you can definitely dive into it a little bit more than you normally would. Women Talking is definitely a movie worth watching, worth exploring, an Academy Award winner that definitely deserved its just desserts. From serious subject matters to more serious subject matters, because let's be real, guys. The epidemic of Easter Bunny massacres is very serious, and we need to take it to its most serious understanding. We need to bring the gravitas to this epidemic that is going on right now. These Easter bunnies cannot get away with this murder. An Easter Bunny Massacre, the DVD for $9.96. Oh man, if this is literally going on, consider me very happy that I'm a Jew. Oh, Lord, man, the bloody trail. This time, he's finally cracked. Jeez, it wasn't all the other previous years. This year, it just happened to be the year that he's gone mental. Oh, man, good God. It was about to happen sooner or later. I'd watch out for the Easter candy kids. Oh, what the hell, man. A weekend away takes a deadly turn for Star and her former school friends after they discover they've been reunited by someone seeking revenge for a prank gone wrong years before. Now, as they are stalked by a murderer in a bunny suit determined to make them pay for what they did, Star and the others must figure out who this killer is before it paints all the Easter eggs red with their blood. Oh, I already know who the killer is. If the killer's running around in an Easter bunny outfit, clearly, I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious, right? It's Ralphie, yay! Look, he lost it, one too many Red Ryder BB guns, and he just went mental, okay? The bunny suit didn't help either. Oh, fuck, that would be really, really cool if he just went fucking mental and started being the Easter Bunny killer. Oh, man, I think it would take the piss out of A Christmas Story just a wee bit, but hey, I'd watch it. Oh, man, I would indeed, dude. Wow. Man, we just go for every single holiday, man, with some sort of killer something, dude. My Bloody Valentine, the Leprechaun series, Halloween, Silent Night, Deadly Night, you name it. Boy, we are going with all kinds of them, and why not the Easter Bunny? I mean, it's not exactly the first time that the Easter Bunny has been in this sort of killer mode. There was this really interesting horror anthology called Holidays, where there was a sort of killer Easter Bunny story within the anthology, which I thought was kind of interesting and unique, man. So it's not the first time it's been explored, but they just don't explore it enough, man. We need to explore it more, dude. We need to dive into more like killer crazy Easter Bunny goodness, man. Oh, my God, man. We've got so many things for other holidays. I mean, we've literally got Eli Roth making Thanksgiving, for Christ's sake, dude. I mean, maybe he can tackle the Easter Bunny next. I don't know about Eli Roth, but somebody oughta. Oh, man. Now, just so you parents out there know, like, I know Easter Bunny is full of love and joy and candy and Easter eggs, all that bullshit. But when your kids are watching a good little Easter animated movie like Peter Cottontail, make sure that maybe you switch the movie with Easter Bunny Massacre. I can't quite say your kids will adjust well to it, but they'll definitely have nightmares. Oh, they will, man. Maybe nightmares of how bad this fucking thing is. Jesus, man, I don't have much hope for this sumbitch. I really honestly don't, dude, but... oh, hey, another holiday killer slasher movie. Lord knows there's many of them already, and why not add one more to the extra long pile? Oh, why the hell not, dude? Hey, more holiday killers out there. I think we need them. Yeah, we've had a lot of Michael Myers, and yeah, we've had a lot of Leprechaun, but now the Easter Bunny needs to take his place among the killer classics. Oh, indeed he does. Not sure this movie is gonna pull that trick, but somebody someday will. Easter Bunny Massacre, more like a massacre on your time, and God help us all.
God, don't you just hate when that happens, man? You're driving on the road and suddenly this prehistoric creature comes out from the fucking ground to come after your ass. That's why I don't take detours.
Oh, indeed I don't. In The Beast Below, the DVD for $9.96. Look at this. Oh, okay, this interesting gem. You can't run, you can't fight, is on the rampage. What's exactly going on in the back of this, man? Is everyone like doing parkour moves or some shit? What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Be careful what you dig for. Yeah, that's why I don't go digging. I'm smart like that. Bet your ass I am. Okay, a once famous singer learns that his grandfather has passed away and decides to return to his hometown. Okay. Seems like a nice gesture. Whilst there, he learns that due to a severe drought, the town's mayor has organized a water field drilling contest promising a sizable cash reward. The mayor never learns, man. Whether it's fucking Jaws or God knows what else, man. These fucking mayors, man. Greedy motherfuckers. Oh, Lord. On the day of the competition, the contestants are not aware that there is a mysterious, gigantic beast hiding silently 10 meters beneath the ground. The sound of all the roaring engines wakes the monster up and it begins to hunt contestants one by one. With time running short, Cow and other competitors join forces to hunt the giant lizard to try and stop his friends and others being eaten alive. Oh, yes. Good luck with that one, bitch. You're gonna need all the help in the world. Oh, man. Oh, look at this cheesy pile, baby. It could be fun, all things considered. And I like movies like this, man. Big monster creature coming out from the ground and hunting people. Remind you of something? Yeah, a little bit of Tremors, love anybody? Yeah, it definitely reminds me of Tremors in a big bad way. This is majorly aping off of Tremors. I wouldn't say homage, more like heavy ripoff, more like it, man. But then again, there's other really great ones out there. Like there's a really great one called Dead Ant with Tom Arnold and Jake Busey, which I really love, man. Corny as shit, but really fun, and I love these gigantic ants and them coming after them, dude, and all the hilarity of that. That's really fun. So yeah, you can have a cheesy movie, but make it really entertaining and fun and worth watching, man. So yeah, it is possible. They don't always do it, man. A lot of these are real cheesy, cheapo pieces of shit. But every now and again, you come across one that's really worthwhile. Is The Beast Below one of them? Maybe, but something tells me that's a hard no, man. It really is. Man, drilling and waking up a beast and it coming after you. Stupid ass people will never learn. That's why I just stay home and watch movies. Yeah, I'm just smart like that. Indeed I am. The Beast Below is definitely something. Just don't get caught, and maybe you'll survive. Maybe. Just because it's Christmas doesn't mean it can't be a bloody Christmas. Yes, the DVD for $9.96. Another Shudder original. Well, they say Shudder original, but you know they ape off all kinds of shit. Oh, they really do, man. Oh, brother, a new gory tradition for genre fans each holiday season. Man, there's a ton of these gory Santa slasher flicks, man. It ain't like this is new, and it certainly don't reinvent the wheel, but is it good? Well, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to because of the director, Joe Bagos, man. I am a huge fan of Joe Bagos. I love his work, man. All the movies that he's done. So I'm like, dude, another Joe Bagels movie? Dude, I am up for that shit. I love his horror flicks. I've got to end up giving this a watch, dude. So I did. And I'm just looking for a fun, grisly, bloody, murderous, rampaging Christmas-style horror flick, man. That's what I'm looking for. And honestly, yeah, let me down like a motherfucker. Oh, shit, it really did, dude. I am not gonna lie, man. This movie really just was a major disappointment, embarrassment. And man, I am just let down by this limp dick motherfucker, dude. Seriously, I was having high hopes for this movie, and damn, man, did it let me down hard. I mean, basically, it's about these young people going to this party and living it up, and oh, by the way, there happens to be a robotic Santa that comes to life and starts hacking and killing people in the town, and eventually they've got to stop him, right? Okay, sounds kind of cool, right? Killer robotic Santa, man, that's some badass shit. Unfortunately, they don't really take advantage of it. The kills are few and far between. Some of them are kind of good, and some of them are kind of lame and lackluster. And at the end of the day, man, just take the batteries out of the motherfucker. I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, it's not like we're dealing with, like, short circuit or some crap like that, man. Just fucking, like, just pull the ripcord or, you know, unplug the damn thing. Whatever, dude. I mean, it seems a little bit more complicated than it ought to be, man. But I would be fine with lackluster kills and okay gory moments if it was actually entertaining and I actually was kind of rooting for the characters and I liked them. Dude, I don't even like any of these motherfuckers, dude. For the first 5 or 10 minutes, you get these people talking about this pretentious hipster bullshit, right? And I thought, okay, maybe they're trying to set up these characters and their personalities, and okay, fine, right? And then another 10 minutes goes by and they're still talking about the same pretentious hipster bullshit, and I'm like, okay, when are we gonna actually get to the good shit, you know, the killing and everything? And then another 10 minutes goes by and they're doing the same shit, just talking about hipster garbage crap that I could care less about, and I'm like, okay, dude, this movie is like less than an hour and a half. Either we're going to get to the killing soon, or this is going to be a lame-ass shitty flick, man. Well, I hate to admit it, but it turned out to be just that. Ah, man, dude, I can't care about any of these people. I mean, the chick just comes off as annoying and bitchy, and the rest of these characters, man, are just limp dick motherfuckers that are just there to be killed and barely have any personality whatsoever. And, again, like, okay, I can't root for the characters. At least there will be the great kills and the bloody moments, and you barely even get that. I mean, I like the idea of a robotic killer Santa, but it just doesn't go far enough, and they don't really give you the full potential of what that idea really means, man. And I just thought it was a real letdown, and the opportunities to really have a great killer, bloody Christmas flick just really passed them by, man. I had high hopes for this movie. I seriously did. Once I saw the director and I'm like, okay, killer robotic Santa, there's an idea there that can really be explored and mined and just have a really great, bloody, good time watching this movie, man. I don't need high art from this motherfucker. I don't, but I needed more than what I got. Lame ass, very few and far between kills, gore that at moments is good, but not really nearly as great as what I was hoping for, characters that you can barely root for and you just wish would die more than survive. I mean, there are so many really great killer Santa horror movies out there, and it's hard to really break out from all the classic ones already, but it is possible. But this movie, yeah, it ain't doing it, dude, man. This is a limp dick Christmas horror flick, and you could do a hell of a lot better, man. You really could. Hell, watch some of the more lamer Silent Night, Deadly Night sequels. You'll get a hell of a lot more enjoyment than you will out of this shit. I'm just saying, man. Disappointment? Yeah, that's one way to put it. It really is, dude. Man, failure on a lot of levels, and man, that's a goddamn shame, dude. Fuck, man. This gave me high hopes, but then again, it's Shudder, so what was I really expecting? Just saying, man. Well, it'll be for somebody, but for me, well, for this Jew at least, I'm watching better Christmas horror flicks, because this certainly ain't one of them. Just saying, man. It's time to go back to the hot table with John Wick. Yes, look at the Walmart love here, man. Nice. I mean, I kind of understand because we're so close to John Wick Chapter 4, man. Oh, go. I hope it's so good, man. I'm waiting, man. So much anticipation, baby. But I had kind of heard of these editions being floated around, man. I had heard people talking about them. Now it's nice to actually see them, dude. Nice. Look at this. It comes with officially licensed playing cards as seen in John Wick Chapter 4. Look at that. That's pretty cool, dude. I mean, if you're a John Wick collector, man, that might be worth getting, dude. I mean, playing cards with a John Wick logo on them. Ooh, that's pretty badass. Oh, that's pretty cool, dude. Man, I've said it over and over again how much I fucking love this series. It is some of the best action that is out there nowadays, and it just highlights Keanu Reeves' badassness, and everybody involved just does an epically awesome, great job. I mean, the characters, and the action, and the drama, and the kills, and the gun fu. Oh, so fucking awesome, man. I mean, Lord knows there's so many collection editions out there already of John Wick. It's kind of crazy though, don't you think, that a series that just has 3 films has had so many multiple collector's editions? It's just wild to think about that, man. I mean, it's so popular, they just keep putting the shit out over and over again, and people just keep on buying it because, well, it's John Wick. Why wouldn't we buy the shit? I mean, seriously, man. I wouldn't buy it simply because you know they're going to do a collector set with chapters 1 through 4, right? I mean, they're going to milk that shit for all it's worth. So you'll get another chance to buy the box set 1 through 4, and, well, unless you want the playing cards, and that's your deal, man. I'm not really much into playing cards, so I'll pass on that, but it's tempting, though. I'm not gonna lie, man. The only problem is, look at that, dude. Fucking spider claws. I hate that shit. God damn, man. They fuck all the packaging up. God, I hate that, dude. I mean, there's got to be a better way. I understand wanting to curb theft and everything like that, but as a collector, man, this just saddens the shit out of me. It really does, dude. Hell, I throw away the packages and just keep the cards, man. Or $24.96 or $29.96. If you're just getting it for the playing cards, man, you are one hell of a devoted collector, and God bless your heart and soul, man. I love John Wick, but I think I'll stick with the standard releases. I know, I'm lame like that, but save a little bit of money for better editions down the road, that's definitely my jam, man. Definitely. Indeed. Oh, absolutely, baby. Nice. The John Wick exclusive love. The indie new release love over here. And lest we forget, ladies and gentlemen, that we also have the big name titles in the front section as well. Walmart is definitely killing it this week. I can definitely appreciate the physical media love. Oh, I can absolutely dig it. Let's head out.
Did someone say new physical media goodness?
Ooh, well, if they did, Walmart's got your back.
Oh, damn, do they, man. They keep on impressing me every single week. They continue to put out the physical media goodies. They do their due diligence, and that definitely makes me very happy as a physical media lover. I can't say that every week is going to be plentiful. I can't say that every week is going to be monstrous and amazing. But this week, we've got some indie darlings. We've got some Oscar love. And, oh, by the way, even John Wick gets in on the good shit too, man. Oh, everybody's enjoying the physical media goodness this week. And I'm basically the main person that's enjoying all of it. Oh, bet your ass. It's really solid, really wonderful, really amazing. And for me, I gotta admit, it's always interesting checking out the physical media love. It absolutely is. I know you agree with me. And so I guess that at the end of the day, any physical media love is good physical media love, and when we get it this good, yeah, I ain't complaining. You bet your ass I'm not complaining at all, man, and I know that you aren't too. So, we dived in all the physical media madness here at good old Wally World, but I'd like to think there's more physical media goodness out there. Well, I'd like to hope. How about we go exploring just a wee bit more?
All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, well, I kind of got to talk to you guys about something. Oh, indeed I do, man. And the streaming wars are difficult. Yes, everyone's battling for your attention. But it's not your attention that they're ultimately just battling for. They're also battling for content. And when it comes to that, sometimes if you're not good enough, you'll be kicked to the road. And creators are feeling the effects in a big bad way. But somebody has their back. Little Ryan Johnson love anybody? Oh, indeed. From IndieWire, Ryan Johnson calls out horrifying practice of streamers purging their libraries. Let's dive in, shall we? In the blink of an eye, the so-called streaming wars went from empowering creators to creating more financial insecurity for them. Streaming services like Netflix and HBO Max were once praised for providing more buyers for quality content, but recent trends have seen them scrapping completed projects and removing their own shows to avoid paying royalties as they all struggle to attain profitability. The penny-pinching approach now prevalent among streamers has attracted some notable critics, including Glass Onion director Ryan Johnson. Speaking of The Hollywood Reporter, Johnson called out the practice of streamers pulling films and shows that they themselves produced from their own libraries. It's been horrifying. The fact that it's becoming common practice is terrible and adds to the awfulness. In the history of the business, there has been a constant evolution of horrible things. Well, he's not wrong. Still, Johnson advised creators to focus on their work and avoid thinking about elements of the business that are outside their own control. All you can do as someone who makes stuff is ultimately put your faith in the notion that if you make something, it's going to find its audience. Well, let's hope, Ryan, because if it isn't, you're royally screwed. Oh, you really are, man. And this is the ultimate conundrum of the streaming wars, right? Because there is certain things that are guaranteed that people are going to watch, right? Any Marvel show, Star Wars show, big name IP property, you know, Harry Potter, Wizarding World, Terminator, Avatar, video game adaptations like The Last of Us, you name it, over and over again, man. Those are things where you know there is a built-in audience and people are going to go see it. And then there's other things that are on the platform that are there just to fill the quota of content. And if they hit big, great. If they don't, well, hey, at least you'll get a chance to watch them eventually. Or maybe not. Because now we are dealing with a whole world of problems for creators and content, which is the fact that why are we continuing to keep stuff on our platform if nobody is watching it and we're just paying royalties to these creators and writers and actors for content that nobody's watching, and so we can just put more content out there that people will watch. So they give less and less attention to these smaller shows or smaller zeitgeist movies out there that could potentially be big if they put the effort into actually promoting the damn stuff. All they do is put it on the platform and just hope and pray that it finds an audience. Sometimes they put a little bit of effort into it, but that's only if it's like big Oscar bait stuff or they have the potential to gain a summer blockbuster audience, you name it. But outside of that, dude, a lot of things just go to streaming and fucking die, man. I mean, you have no idea how many times I am literally just going through Netflix or Paramount Plus or Peacock or all these other subscription services out there. And once you put in like a certain letter or a few letters of the alphabet, suddenly you get this whole barrage of stuff and things that are not even on the main page. Things that look kind of cool had you only known about them, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe up to a year's worth of time. Had you known they were there, maybe you would have watched them sooner. It's tough because these streamers, all they're interested in is content. But they're now interested in content that's going to sell. Because if it doesn't sell, then why have it in the first place? And now it's even more difficult because if you like it,
And if it doesn't get as much eyes as you want it to, then it's going to be taken off of the platform, and therefore you cannot find it at all. Because they're not going to give it to another streaming service just in case maybe it fares better over there. So they're just going to cut it entirely, which means that there is no physical media copy. And at this point, if you're lucky to maybe burn a copy, good for you. I mean, seriously, man, it is a jungle out there for content. It really is, and it ain't getting any easier, man. And seeing what HBO Max has done with Westworld and all these other smaller shows and movies that didn't perform well, but then again, they weren't really given a chance. And outside of that, things that HBO Max produced that, quite frankly, well, they didn't even release. They just figured no one else was going to watch it, so they just cut the damn thing. They didn't even give it a fucking fighting chance, man. And this is streaming. This is the wars, man. This is what's happening. And that's why I've continued to advocate for physical media, guys. That's why I've continued to do it, because at least if the movie doesn't do well and if it's lost in the ether among all the other physical media stuff that's out there week to week, at least you still have a chance to buy the damn thing, right? Whether it's even the DVD, who cares? At least you have a copy of it. You don't even get that with streaming. It's so tough, man. And there's God knows how many movies that I've loved that are just buried in algorithm hell, that is just not getting any love whatsoever, man, and will probably never get any love. This is tough, man. This is very tough. And at least there's people like Ryan Johnson that is calling it out, man. And at least that's something. Because if you don't call the bullshit out, the bullshit is just going to continue. And that's what it always happens, man. And at least these big filmmakers like a Ryan Johnson is at least bringing it to light and attention and at least giving it some notice. Not sure whether it'll change anything, but at least he's sounding the alarm, and you got to at least appreciate that, man. I mean, think about this way back in the day, right? That you would go to the video store and there would be so many releases, and they would have, you know, an entire shelving unit just of the main movie release that came out that week, right? But there was all these other smaller films, and yeah, they would get lost in the shuffle occasionally, but at least you had an opportunity that it would be there at the store still, or at least in the old new release section, or buried among the horror or drama or comedy or whatever, that there would be one copy out there. At least you could search for it. At least you could, you know, sit there and just, you know, peruse the section. I guess you could do that with the whole Netflix stuff and the whole searching and going through the services. I guess you could, but do you really do it though? I mean, Lord knows I don't really do it. Not as much as maybe I should, and I'll even admit that, guys. I mean, quite frankly, you know, you want to watch something fast, you want to watch something quick, it's on the home screen, it looks interesting, and you do that. You don't really think about going back to the search section and trying to find some of the older stuff. There is so much content out there right now, guys. It is literally crazy how much stuff is literally streaming on all these platforms, and something is going to get lost in the shuffle. It's just part of human nature of how much content is being created, and something's going to go by the wayside. It just happens that way, man. And if it doesn't do well, it may just stay there, or quite frankly end up in absolute Bermuda Triangle nowhere. Okay, it is what it is, guys. How can you really change it? Hard to say, but, you know, if you like something, watch it, because there's no telling how long it'll actually last. Just saying, guys. What do you think about this? Do you think that it's a shady practice, or do you think they kind of have a point? I'm in the more shady camp, but let me know, guys. But I hope, actually, speaking of movie love, I hope that Target has some. Walmart surely did, but will they? How about we go in and check it all out?
All right, everybody, we are in at Target, and this is it? What? Where's the whale? Where's Women Talking? Where's anything else? I mean, I don't want to speak ill will, but what the fuck? Jeez, man. From the highs of Walmart to the lows of Target. Yay. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Let's dive in with, hey, well, speaking of grumpy, I'm kind of feeling the same way, Tom Hanks, especially when there's barely any physical media love, so I get the look. With A Man Called Otto, the Blu-ray digital for $24.99, the DVD digital for $22.49. Yes, a little bit of Tom Hanks love definitely needs to brighten up this Target day. That's for damn sure, man. And I love a really great Tom Hanks movie, man. Tom Hanks is classic. He's just classy, man. You love putting in a Tom Hanks movie because it kind of warms your heart, right? Big and Forrest Gump and so many others, man. Of course, I go way back to things like Bachelor Party, but that's just me, man. And even though I kind of think Tom Hanks is sort of coasting in his career at this point, I think he's kind of in the, however you want to say, twilight part of his career. I think he's sort of playing it safe and doing the simple, easy projects. And I'm not saying this is that necessarily, but it fits well for Tom Hanks' sensibility. He's not going out of his way to really challenge himself like maybe he used to back in the day. But that doesn't mean that you still can't make a good movie, even if you're playing it safe or in your comfort zone, so to speak. And A Man Called Otto is one of those movies that, yeah, is sort of classic Tom Hanks in certain ways, but it also has that really great emotional gut punch and really great moments of levity and humor that make it really heartwarming, man. And yes, you credit Tom Hanks with that, but I'd also like to think you credit Mark Forster with that as well. Because as a director, yeah, that's part of the process of actually getting the movie made, and if you cast right, 90% of your work is pretty much done, but you still need to tell a well, concise story. You still need to get the performances that you want. At the end of the day, you are the chef in the kitchen. You are the master coordinator. You are the person that this movie is going to live and die from, because as a director, you're either going to make this movie work or you're not. And Mark Forster is a master at making movies work. You got to remember that this guy, dude, he has worked across all kinds of genres. He directed Monsters Ball. Yeah, that Academy Award winning movie, Halle Berry, you remember that one? Yeah, that one's really solid. Of course, he also directed Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp. That one is a class act. He directed even a little bit of Bond love with Quantum of Solace. Now, okay, as far as Bond films are concerned, Daniel Craig Bond films are concerned, Quantum of Solace is not exactly high on anybody's list, but I gotta admit, I really like that movie, man. I love the villain, and I love the action. I love the Bond girl, Olga Kurylenko. I think it's a solid film, man. Not nearly as good as Casino Royale, and then again, not nearly as good as Skyfall, kind of in between there, but I think it's actually way better than people give it credit for. Of course, he also directed World War Z, which, let's be real, man, World War Z, everybody thought that movie was going to be a dumpster fire, and it turned out to be pretty goddamn good, man. So yeah, there is that too, along with a little bit of childhood nostalgia with Christopher Robin. Oh, that one was great, man. I mean, of course, he directed Stranger Than Fiction, The Kite Runner. He knows how to make a very great dramatic movie with really great performances and really great heartfelt messaging. He's a master at it, right? Then again, it's not always great, because in any filmmaker's filmography, there's always one or two that is less than stellar. Remember that movie Stay with Ewan McGregor? Yeah, that horror movie? Yeah, not very good, man. So he's good at very great dramatic Oscar-worthy flicks, but as far as horror, yeah, not so hot, man. But hey, everybody has a weak spot. Can't quite blame him, dude. But he is, as I said, a master class of directing. He really knows how to get a really great dramatic tale, make it entertaining, family friendly, but yet really make it for the adult audience as well. That's not easy to do, man. You know, when we think of movies like that and filmmakers, we think of people like a Steven Spielberg. We think of J.J. Abrams. We think of
a lot of these typical household names. But sometimes the directors like Mark Forster are sort of in the background, steady, and are extremely consistent, man. And this guy absolutely is. And what he did with this movie was really take a Swedish remake and make the American version with just as much heart and with just as much passion and humor and love to it, and made for a great cinematic experience, man. I mean, it wasn't just my mother that really loved this movie. Everybody in the movie theater, which was mostly the older crowd to be fair, they really dug this movie, man. And a lot of them were really clapping and teary-eyed and loved it. And I think as I get older, I'm appreciating these movies more and more, right? I think if I was in my 20s or maybe my teens, I think a movie like this wouldn't really interest me all that much. I'd kind of be like, oh, God, old boomer Tom Hanks, a little heartfelt drama. But now that I'm sort of getting into my middle-aged years, I don't want to say that, but it's the truth. The more that I say that, and the more that I'm sort of accepting getting more mature in my older age, I suppose, movies like A Man Called Otto really speak to me a hell of a lot more, man. And I think, to me, these movies are definitely my jam. I'll always love the genre films. I'll always love the sci-fi and the action adventure, fantasy, you name it. But it's movies like this that really give me that really great dramatic heart, a timeless smile and laughter at old school jokes that really resonate with me from back in the day, man. In fact, if anything, I think this movie really reminds me of the old school films that Hal Ashby used to do back in the day, man. Movies like Harold and Maude or Being There. I mean, those movies are great to this day, man. And maybe I'm an old soul, dude. Maybe I am, dude. But these are the kind of movies that I grew up on. These dramatic, heartfelt films. These are the ones that really got me at a younger age to really love cinema the way that I did, man. And this movie reminds me of those old school ones from back in the day, the 70s and 80s, that are just timeless. They never really go out of style. Are they the most popular? No, but every time you put them in to your DVD, Blu-ray, 4K player, do they make you smile and laugh? Yeah, they do. And those are the special ones, man. And I think A Man Called Otto is definitely one of those in a big bad way. You have classy, lovable, everyday man Tom Hanks. You have a really dramatic and heartwarming story, fantastic direction, and characters that you can love and cherish. And as a moviegoer, a movie lover, that's all that I can really ask for. Superhero. Ooh, the Blu-ray DVD for $24.99. Now, to be fair, I actually saw this at Walmart and I thought nothing of it, man. I was like, oh, it's probably been there before. Ah, man, my bad, dude. I'm not into anime, okay? I don't keep up with this shit, alright? Forgive me, will ya? Oh, man. I love the cover, though. The cover's really cool, man. That is some pretty kick-ass shit, man. That is pretty goddamn sweet indeed. Bigger, mightier, super. You bet your ass it is, yes. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Can your shelf contain this power? Oh, I love that, man. Oh, that's like the first time I've really ever seen that, where they're commenting on your fucking movie shelf, dude. That's awesome. Like, if you put this in your movie collection shelf, the power will overwhelm the collection. Make sure you put it by yourself, because anything else around it will be obliterated. Oh, that's fucking awesome, man. I love that shit. Oh, dude, that's great, man. You know, look,
I have been saying I'm gonna get into anime God knows how many times, and I just gotta kind of find the time to do it, dude. But you guys have given me some really great recommendations, whether it's Avatar: The Last Airbender or obviously the Dragon Ball series here and so many others, man. And there's been a lot of ones that have piqued my interest. The Dragon Ball ones, man, they have been around forever, man. Such a goddamn long time, dude. And well, the good shit never really goes out of style, to be fair, man, and Dragon Ball is one of them. Hopefully, all of you out there that really like anime and Dragon Ball, hopefully you're digging this release. Definitely let me know, man. Is it worth it to dive into Dragon Ball? Is the newer stuff better than the older stuff? The older stuff more timeless and classier? You gotta let me know, man. But look, every so occasionally I like to show off a little bit of anime love, and of course, why not show off a little Dragon Ball, as long as it's better than the live action movie, okay? As long as it's better than that, we're all good. That live action movie, dude, whew, man, that's a fucking travesty, dude. My god, man, that's one hell of a turd burger. And something tells me that the animated series is far better than anything they could come up with live action. In fact, just leave it as its anime form, because trying to do anything other than that is just goddamn sacrilege. Hopefully the Dragon Ball lovers will appreciate the release, because if you're a fan, you're a fan for life. And the anime lovers out there, man, you guys are truly the true faithfuls. There is no doubt about that, man. Dragon Ball lovers, unite, because y'all are one hell of a wild bunch, and something tells me that your devotion is well worth it. In order to survive, you must live through The Walking Dead. Ah, yes, the Blu-ray digital of the complete 11th and final season for $49.99. Yes. In order to survive, you must pay $50. Good luck with that, man. I'll just wait till it comes on Netflix. That's pretty much what I'm doing, man. At least to watch the rest of all the Walking Dead love that I've got to dive into, man, and it's a lot of it. But I'm kind of curious, because as much as I do respect The Walking Dead, and I absolutely do, man, is the zombie genre sort of played out now? Because I'm always talking about, there's certain subgenres within horror, whether we're talking about ghost stories or slashers, torture porn. My God, I could go on and on, man. And at a certain point, it gets sort of overplayed, man. Too many movies and just way overstuffed. Everything being released all at once. And when it's popular, everybody is aping off of it. And then after a while, it sort of dies down because the interest has died down. And I kind of feel like that's the same with The Walking Dead at this point. Well, that and the zombie genre, pretty much. I mean, I love the zombie genre, right? I mean, going back all the way to Night of the Living Dead. I mean, the George Romero classic that really not only reinvented the way zombies were seen on screen in the movies, but pretty much created a whole genre within itself, man. And of course, thinking about Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead, City of the Living Dead, The Video Dead, Dr. Butcher MD, I Was a Teenage Zombie. Oh my God. Oh boy. You know, you had the classics, and then you had the rip-offs, and then you had the rip-offs of the rip-offs, and then you had the B-movie schlock, and oh my Lord, man. Boy, you had a shitload of them. And then after a while, the genre sort of got played out, and then it sort of died down a bit. And then I really credit probably around 2004 or so, maybe a little earlier actually, you had the Resident Evil movie, you had the Dawn of the Dead remake, and that really revived the interest in the genre again. And you had a whole slew of those movies, and then, you know, it died down a bit, and then you got Shaun of the Dead, and you got Zombieland, and I mean, it sort of ebbed and flowed over the years, man. And when The Walking Dead premiered, it was sort of the peak of zombiedom, dude. I mean, the popularity was friggin' overflowing. And the comic book was so iconic and so well loved and instantly popular that, I mean, when they announced the fact that they were doing the show, I mean, everybody went apeshit. And then seeing the previews and then the first episode, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Everybody was just going apeshit over it, man. And rightfully so. Hell, I was doing it, man. And like anything, that sort of fades over time, man. Because what's really popular 1 minute doesn't always stay popular for 10 to 12 years, man. And if it does for that long, man, that is one hell of a stretch, especially in the horror genre. And we all know within the horror genre, it always ebbs and flows in the biggest, baddest way, man. You know, every 5 years, maybe less, there's always a turnover rate. Well, it could be vampires for the next couple years, and then it could be ghost stories, and then it could be slashers, and then it could be sort of the referential horror or the spoofs. I mean, it just goes from one thing to the next. And you never quite know what's going to hit big anymore, dude. It just happens instantly. And the zombie genre is one of those ones where now it's not like you can't make something interesting. You can, but you really have to have such a wild concept and really go far out with it, man. Something like Train to Busan or Army of the Dead, man. Really big budget, sprawling zombie epics, man, is what you really need now. I mean, I will always credit The Walking Dead for continuing the popularity of the zombie genre for as long as they could, and hell, even pushing the limits of zombie makeup. I mean, with Greg Nicotero and his group of people, the K&B Effects folks, I mean, they really went out of their way to make some gnarly looking zombies, man, and they really changed the face of television with some of the gore that they had on this show, man. It was wild at times. You're like, dude, how the fuck could they get away with that shit? Man, that's insane. And I give them a lot of credit for really pushing the envelope in certain ways, but at the same time, I think they sort of gotten away from what really made The Walking Dead The Walking Dead. It was always the zombies versus the people, and how, yes, the zombies are what they are The Walking Dead, but so are we. And eventually we got into all of the humans being the bad guys and all of the complications with different factions and so many characters, and it just turned into a hodgepodge of melodrama, and you never really got to know anybody, and even when you did, they just turned into zombie food instantly, and you just weren't as invested anymore within the characters or the situations that you used to be with this show. And it just kind of sucks, man, because I think for me, the early seasons of The Walking Dead are probably my favorite. Now, mind you, I haven't watched any of the later seasons, and I do have to watch that stuff, but I'm looking forward to sort of seeing where it went. And I understand that a television show that lasts this long has to evolve, and it can't stay the same thing that it was in the earlier seasons. I get it. I understand it. We've got to kill people off. We've got to keep upping the stakes. Fair enough, man. But at a certain point, at least from what I heard from people on YouTube and message boards, and some of you guys that have even talked to me about The Walking Dead, you've ended up saying, yeah, it's not what it used to be. There's moments when it's really great and moments when you really cherish The Walking Dead and it reminds you how really great it is, but there's also moments where you're like, dude, this is really stupid and it's idiotic and it makes no goddamn sense, and where the fuck are the zombies? And yeah, when that happens, people start to lose interest, and that was kind of my deal as well, man, which is a goddamn shame. Look, there will never ever be another show quite like The Walking Dead. There will always be the spin-offs, and there will always be, you know, the character movies or whatever that's gonna be, man. But at the end of the day, The Walking Dead was so unique for what it was, man. The first real hard-hitting zombie television show, man. I mean, the fact that we got this is a fucking miracle unto itself, man. So I'll always be appreciative of that. But
at the end of the day, just because I'm appreciative of it doesn't mean that I have to love everything in the show. I respect The Walking Dead. I will always respect it. It has my 100% respect. It truly does. And admiration for what they were able to accomplish with this show. The storylines and the characters and the makeup effects and the horror aspect. Brilliant at times. But the brilliance can't last forever. 11 seasons, maybe they should have cut it short a wee bit. I like the idea that they were trying to evolve the zombies into being more smarter, picking up weapons and, figuring out situations, being more deadly. The problem is that they did it way too late. They should have probably did it 2 or 3 seasons before now, and maybe had they done that, they could have set that up earlier to really pay it off more in the final season. But something tells me that they never really had a plan necessarily of how long they were actually going to go or what they were going to do with it. They were just flying by the seat of their pants. And that's cool when you have the earlier seasons and you're living up with the hype and everything you do is fucking gold. But later on, you kind of have to know where the fuck you're going. Because if you don't, you're just flying by the seat of your pants. And, well, yeah, I don't think viewers like to be dicked around like that. I really don't, man. I'm not saying that the show wasn't worth it. It absolutely was. And the journey is definitely worth it more than the ultimate destination, I would say, especially with this show. At the end of the day, I'll always appreciate it for what it was and what it is. Is it perfect? No, but what zombie show really was going to be at the end of the day? The zombie genre, I think, has been a little played out. I like to see it go away for a while and then come back strong. But one of the highlights will always be, no doubt about it, good and bad, The Walking Dead. That is for damn sure, man. Oh, absolutely, baby. And, well, I can't say it's quite memorable here at Target because, Jesus, man, 3 things? Seriously? Damn, dude. There was a hell of a lot more that came out this week, but you wouldn't know it by coming here. Oof, it's pretty goddamn weak sauce, man, indeed. Target. What am I gonna do with you? Lord only knows. Let's head out. Oh, you shame me, Target. Oh, you shame me, man. Oh, man. The physical media godfather does not approve. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's really rough here, man. Damn, dude, I was prepared to come into Target because, dude, Target, for the most part, especially last week, dude, was killing it. And I thought, okay, we've got The Whale. We've got Women Talking. We've got a man called Otto. We've got some really great stuff out there, man. Dude, Target's gonna deliver like a motherfucker. I knows it, baby. And yeah, speaking of that, oh, Lord, dude, Walmart was so good and gave me so much hope, and then Target just comes and dashes it right away. Shame on you, Target. I mean, look, I have not really hated on Target in a long time. They usually do their due diligence pretty well, or at least I'm somewhat happy with what they have. But only 3 things out of a really great physical media week, that is just piss poor, man. That will not do, Target. Not at all, man. Let's hope you get your shit together. Let's hope 1 week is just 1 week, and hopefully next week you'll end up bouncing back in a big bad way. But this will not stand. I will not let it stand. You're definitely not making me a very happy physical media boy. That is for damn sure, and I know you guys definitely agree with me on that one. Well, I was hoping for more. I got a hell of a lot less than I wanted, but I guess that's the story of Target overall. Man, and you were doing so well, and this week you just had to crush the hopes in a big bad way. Well, I guess here's the hoping for next week for what it's worth, but this week is a goddamn bummer, man. They fell flat on their ass in a big bad way. Well, it is what it is. Let's hope that the next location has a hell of a lot more physical media love than this place does, because, man, why wouldn't they?
All right, everybody. We are at our 3rd location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles worth showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 H2 and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And I knew they would do it eventually. just took a little bit of time. All of the memes and the GIFs. Well, eventually Bob Ross would get his own appreciation in paint. Hitting movie theaters pretty damn soon, man. And, okay, so it's not exactly Bob Ross, right? So Owen Wilson plays this very eccentric, slow-talking, easy-listening painter with the fro and the 70s clothing, and you're thinking, oh, that's Bob Ross. No, that's Carl Nargle. Yeah, a Bob Ross ripoff. They can't really do the Bob Ross biopic, at least not yet, so they figure might as well kind of pretend to do it instead. Sure, why the hell not, man? And, oh, dude, this is one of those ones where I kind of feel like they were going to do it eventually because everyone is kind of fell in love with Bob Ross all over again. It's so weird, man, because Bob Ross, he was a very good painter. He was an easygoing guy, very casual, but, you know, the ones that loved him, but he didn't really light the world on fire. It wasn't until many, many decades later, when now the internet and, you know, everything eventually goes viral one way or another, and so eventually this guy, eccentric dude with the big fro, well, eventually there's all these memes and everybody's parroting him and everybody's like, hey, Bob Ross, we love him. And I'm like, Jesus, man, it really is true. Everything comes back to popularity eventually. You just gotta wait a while. Damn, man. Oh, holy hell, dude. I can't wait to see what's next. Oh, Lord help us, man. But, I mean, look, I've always liked him, and you got to admit that just the personality of Bob Ross and the look of him just screamed out doing some sort of kind of parody-ish movie about the dude, right? And why not have Owen Wilson actually do it, man? And, you know, I like Owen Wilson. He isn't always my favorite. When his comedies hit, they really do. When they fail, they absolutely fail on their ass. But for the most part, I kind of see him having that quirky sensibility to kind of pull off a Bob Ross, you know, cheapo impersonation, man. And he does well in the trailer. He really does, man. Basically, it's like he has this show and he's competing with this other painter. And so the whole like painter versus painter and popularity and who's the better one, you know, all that jazz. It looks funny, it looks humorous, it looks quirky, and I'm kind of down for it, man. I just love Owen Wilson being like, well, I hope you enjoyed painting with me today. It's been really fun. Thank you. just the soft tone. And this is how we paint the brush. The soft strokes right through the canyons and the trees. Like, oh my God. Oh man, we used to like this shit back in the day, folks. I know. There wasn't much on TV. Okay, there really wasn't. I'm just spitting facts, man. And you know what? I just like that. And how you can kind of make fun of it. You know that old SNL sketch with Alec Baldwin, the whole like sweaty balls thing? Well, would you like to try some of my sweaty balls? Of course, man. And you gotta love that. Just the smooth talking, easy listening sort of personality doing jokes. It makes for kind of a good parody fun time, man. It really does. And this looks at least fun, somewhat entertaining. And I hope I at least get a chuckle or two out of it, man. I've always appreciated Bob Ross, but it is someone that is kind of worth taking the piss out of. I kind of feel like the movie will be, yes, funny, and yes, kind of parody-ish, a little bit of the man himself. But I think more of it is going to be very genuine of this guy that really has a passion and a love for painting and how his love really spread to others out there in the world. And just his quirky guy and his personality and his paintbrushes. Why not, man? I guess eventually we were going to get down to some Bob Ross painting hijinks, and well, here we are. I think this is the first of many. If this is successful, then you bet your ass there's going to be a lot more of these Bob Ross ones. And God help us all, man. A long line of them, and this is only the beginning. Get ready, folks. What do you think about this? Do you think it's time to finally do this, or do you think that it's kind of being a little overplayed out, and maybe we should have done this like a few years ago, and now kind of feels like, you know, too little too late? It's hard because the internet is such a fast-paced place. And you're popular one minute and you're not so popular the next. But Bob Ross has kind of stuck around, man. He honestly has. He sort of bucked the trend. And, well, I guess the movies have finally been calling. Let me know what you think about that. But in the meantime, what about the second Walmart physical media goodness? What about the indie love? Do we have it? Well, let's hope. But how about we go in and check it out?
All right, everybody, into the good old second Walmart, and I'm gonna admit to you, this week has been decent. All right, some places had what I was hoping they would. Other places, well, having less than I thought they might, and everything in between. Yeah, it's had its challenges, and yeah, it's kind of like every week, but it's nice to see the Academy Award-winning love. Don't get me wrong, man. I love a good Oscar drama. Oh, I'm always up for that shit. However, I also really love some good indie weirdness, ridiculous, cheeseball oddities. Don't we all? I know we do, man. Do I have it this week? I mean, it would be a nice balance with the Oscar bait. It would. But, well, it's been kind of rough here finding the physical media weirdness and oddities. So, is things looking up this week, though? And honestly, yeah, not so much. Oh, God, I'm just spitting facts, dude, and I don't want to say it, but it is the truth. We ain't got jack shit this week. I mean, yeah, it's just Smothers Hubbard's covered like a motherfucker in this bitch, man, and it ain't getting any better. Damn, dude. I keep on hoping they're gonna, you know, 1 week surprise us, and that's not that way, man. God, the once mighty second Walmart is failing big time. I mean, I was hoping for the indie oddities, but I guess not this week. Shame, shame, shame. But I am the ever hopeful optimist, and maybe one day they'll turn it around. Just like the first Walmart, they ended up getting their act together, so maybe this one will eventually too. Let's hope. But in the meantime, well, there is no indie weirdness and oddities yet again. Sad, but unfortunately true. Maybe next week, I'd like to hope, but we'll wait and see, guys. But in the meantime, how about we go to a location that will have physical media? Well, at least I hope. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location, and 2023 is going to be the year of, well, less and less physical media. Let's be real, especially when it comes to the retail stores. However, that being said, sometimes surprises can await you around every corner, even at a bookstore. Ooh, really? Well, shit. At this point, I'll take what I can get. You bet your ass I will. And you know where we are at, and that is none other than, good old Barnes and Nobles. The B&N love is back yet again, with hopefully some good physical media love to boot. Let's hope, man. It's been good, a little bit here, a little bit there, but can Barnes and Nobles be the best of them all? I don't know about that, but hey, if they have something, hey, I'll show it off. How about we go in and hopefully have some physical media love worth checking out?
All right, everybody, we are in a good old B&N for perhaps more physical media love. Well, I'm hoping, but we're off to a good start because I'm already seeing something new. Yes, with Women Talking. The Blu-ray DVD digital for $35. Hey, sometimes important issues, you know, they cost a bit. You bet your ass they do. And this one is definitely an important issue to bring to life because it is inspired by true events. Now, inspired and based on are two different things. Based on is more accurate. Inspired by means that a little bit of the story was taken from this story and this story over here and sort of mashed together into one. Doesn't mean that it still isn't impactful to talk about. It just isn't like as accurate as what a based on a true story is, which means it was one story that they were focusing on, not multiple stories and combining it into one. So with that being said, this story still is incredibly disturbing, and the fact that it's from multiple accounts, from multiple events, and the fact that these women had to deal with the stuff that they did, the rape and the incest, man, that's some heavy shit. I'm just saying, man, it really is, dude. And basically what this ultimate true story is about is an ultra-conservative Mennonite community. Now, it's more like a Christian church more than anything else. Basically, they live like they're in the 19th century. And gender roles are very much stuck to. They are what they are. And there are rules that you either abide by or you get excommunicated. Like, for instance, you can't listen to music or even have a cell phone. And if you do, you will be excommunicated. Yeah, it is that strict, man. It's basically almost like the Amish, but kind of more sinister. And the ones that are really the extremists, like the old school ones, are called the old colonists. They are very much rejecting any modern advances, no electricity. They're using plow and oxen, and they are living the absolute simple life because that's the only way that they feel that they can get into heaven. Yeah, it's, man, real just old school beliefs back in, like, you know, the Protestant old school religious period times, man. That's how extreme these people are, man. And to just put into context how many there actually are, in Bolivia alone, true story, there is over 60,000. Yeah, no lie, man. Look that shit up, dude. I'm serious. I'm just spitting facts, okay? I am, man. And the idea that some of these females who are part of this community, that's all they've ever known their entire lives. They know nothing else of the modern world, of modern technology and other parts of society. They have no idea. They are literally sheltered and constricted, quarantined, dare I say, in this bubble, and ever really get out, if ever. And if they do, it's a goddamn miracle, man. That's how extreme this shit is. And the idea that these women are really used as pawns for men's pleasure, and all they're there to do is basically cook, clean, and their bodies are used for sexual activities for any man who deem themselves worthy to have it. Yeah, that's some crazy shit, man. We're going back to old school times that, like, the Bible was talking about way back in the day. The old school Bible, man. Like, damn, that's nuts, dude. And you would think we're living in 2023 that shit couldn't possibly exist, man. But yeah, you'd be wrong, dude. You really would. And hell, I didn't even know this shit was going on. I mean, I knew about the Amish, I knew about certain things, but something like this, man, went way over my head. And to know that this is still going on, this is still existing, even now, in the such modern times that we're living in, that's scary, man. That really is. And, you know, I've always said this, cinema, if done right, can be extremely powerful and can bring to light issues and dilemmas and situations that really need to be highlighted and really need to have a spotlight put on them, man. And this is absolutely one of them. And it takes a filmmaker, a really competent, confident, and strong voice that is very sure of themselves that they know how to tell this story in a very concise and compelling way that is going to keep you intrigued for the entire runtime and leave you in shock about what's really going on within the world. And Sarah Polley did that, man. And I love Sarah Polley, man. I mean, you got to remember that I've loved her as an actress for so long. I mean, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, anybody? I love that. I loved her in the movie Go, of course, the remake to Dawn of the Dead, and so much more. She's a great actress. I've always loved a lot of her work, and as a director, she's doing some really phenomenal stuff, man. Some really eye-opening, really great tell-all stories that really just keep you intrigued and fascinated and just are amazed at what's happening within the world, things that you didn't even know about, man. Sarah Polley is fantastic. I give her all the credit in the world for getting an Oscar for this movie and, you know, really doing a great job directing and really being the shepherd to tell this really disturbing story and get the fantastic performances and really tell a very unique story that needed to be told, man. I definitely give her all the props in the world. I give the actors all the props, and it is a great film. It's not for everybody, and if you don't like these people standing around talking about issues type of movies, then this is not for you, man. For me, I was just kept on the edge of my seat of what was going to happen and the different sides of the argument and how, you know, even trying to wrap your mind around the fact that some of these people actually believe staying was a good idea, to continue the abuse was a good idea, man. And that's just wild to me, but that's the mentality. That's what they've been trained and how they've been conditioned. And that's the thing, it's just wild to me. And the fact that now, to this day, that some of these women that are still in this particular community that it happened to, the fact that they want to forgive the men and have the men come back into their lives and everything. I'm like, well, are you kidding me? I mean, it's just crazy how history repeats itself in some of the most ugliest ways. But again, powerful cinema really brings things to light that need to be brought to light. And this is one of them, man. It's a powerful movie, powerful acting, powerful story, powerful directing, and it is definitely one that, if you're interested in a very hard-hitting subject, women talking definitely delivers it. From dramatic decisions to grumpy old man, sure, why the hell not? A Man Called Otto, the Blu-ray digital for, wow, $39, damn near $40. Holy shit, man. Hey, I never said Tom Hanks was cheap, did I? I definitely did not, man. And it's just weird seeing, you know, nice everyman Tom Hanks playing a grumpy old son of a bitch. Man, it's kind of delightful and just kind of feels a little bit wrong at the same time, man. You're like, dude, you're like everyone's favorite, like, father figure in some ways, man. And dude, like, you're playing mean old, you get off my lawn type of Clint role. Like, man, he's, well, if you couldn't get Clint, I guess Tom Hanks is the next best thing. Sure, why the hell not, man? But despite the oddness of seeing such a nice guy like Tom Hanks be in such a grumpy role like this, man, does he pull it off. It's just so good to see a role like this where he plays sort of grumpy, stuck up, you know, up his own ass, and eventually kind of loosens up a bit and learns to appreciate life again. And, well, yeah, I kind of hope he would, man, because it's Tom Hanks. If he didn't, man, that'd be a bummer. It really would, dude. But I was thinking to myself, like, what are some other really great grumpy old people in cinema history, man? And it kind of got me thinking, dude, because there's actually quite a few of them. I mean, the obvious one you got to go with is grumpy old men, right? I mean, Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, that is such a great movie, man. The sequel is really good too. I love them just bickering and bitching at one another and trying to one up the other, man. I just love that, and all the crazy hijinks. That is definitely really great, man. I love that movie. The first time I ever watched it with my mother way back in the day, still to this day, that's some funny shit. Of course, I can't forget The Burbs, another great Tom Hanks classic, man. The old school Vietnam crazy vet who was sort of bitching and complaining to Corey Feldman the entire fucking movie, dude. Oh man, he was great. Oh, he was so good, man. I love that. He's so good. Of course, you gotta mention Scrooge, because Scrooge is just a great sort of grumpy, mean old bastard. I love that. Of course, you even gotta include the Muppets, like Statler and Waldorf. Oh man, dude, they are the best, like, grumpy pair, you've got to admit, man. I mean, outside of Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, those two, man, can get a good laugh from time to time. Mean, cynical, sometimes, you know, up each other's ass, but damn, are they funny. I guess you could also say Mickey from the Rocky series. I guess if you're stretching it a bit, I mean, he was one mean old bastard, though. I mean, he did one hell of a job training Rocky, but, you know, God, did he have to be so mean? I guess that was the best way to get across to Rocky. You know, after all, he ain't the smartest bulb in the bunch. Oh, man. Of course, you've also got to say a little bit of Jack Nicholson love in As Good As It Gets. Oh, man. That is a great mean old bastard performance, man. I love that movie. I think that is just a straight up classic. I remember seeing that in the movie theater with my mother, and we loved it. And it was funny. It was heartwarming. Even the times when Jack Nicholson is being mean and condescending, like, you're kind of laughing with him. You're like, oh, isn't it so funny the way he's bitching people out? Oh, okay. But it was really great, man. Still is to this day. What a great performance, man. Of course, I gotta say, come on, man. I gotta do Gran Torino. I got to, man. I mean, come on, Clint Eastwood. How can I not do Gran Torino? And I love that movie, but it kind of feels at times like Clint Eastwood is not really acting. Like, he really is that mean and grumpy and just pissed off all the time. Like, literally, when he was telling people to get off his lawn, I just have a feeling like that's what he says every fucking day to the kids. He's like, hey, you kids, what'd I tell you? Get off my fucking lawn. Oh, man, I can just imagine that's what Clint does every fucking day. When he's not filming a movie, he's literally bitching little kids out. Oh, my God. I actually want to see that now. Gran Torino is such a great movie, dude. It's so fantastic. One of Clint's best. Dare you to disagree with me, man. But I think the one I really, really love out of all the grumpy, old bastard performances has to be an animated movie with Up. Oh, man, come on. The character of Carl, he's so great, man. And I love how he's so mean and spiteful and just angsty, but you can't help but love the guy. And yet, I understand why he's as mean as he is. The loss of his wife and all the tragedies that happened, you would be too if you had to deal with what he had to, man. And the fact that he sort of came around with this adventure with this little kid and learned to love again, kind of like Tom Hanks in A Man Called Otto. And, you know, when you get older, you get a little bit fickle. You get a little bit more set in your ways, right? Because you've experienced a lot of life's complications and frustrations and heartaches and heartbreak and death and destruction. And when you get older, you become cynical. You become not that optimistic, young, idealistic human being that you once were. You become more jaded. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what happens with people. That's life. That's experiences that hit you over time, that make you who you are. But just because you're that way doesn't mean that you have to ultimately stay that way. You can learn to appreciate things again from a different perspective. Maybe you just need the right person to show you the way. And movies like Up definitely do that, and even A Man Called Otto definitely does as well, man. I mean, with such a fantastic performance by Tom Hanks, great humor and laughs and heartfelt moments, you can't help but love this movie, man. And it's just the shocker of the fact that on Rotten Tomatoes, this has gotten killed by the critics, but the audiences are like at a 97%. And it just goes to show that critics don't get it right all the time, man. And if you're going by a Rotten Tomato score just because of the critics and what they think, then you're doing it the wrong way, man. You've got to experience films for yourself. And when you do, you just might end up actually liking it better than the critics do. I know, crazy, right? Actually experiencing the shit instead of, oh my god, well, I have to take this person's opinion because that critic has gotta be gospel. I've always said to you guys that this is just my opinion at the end of the day. You and I can disagree, but I want you to watch the movie and experience it for yourself. That's what I've always said, man. And you may end up being surprised that you like it or being surprised that you hate it, but at least you experience the damn thing. And A Man Called Otto is definitely one of those that you have to experience. That is for damn sure. I mean, come on. It's Tom Hanks. He's being grumpy. That's a combo that I think anyone would at least be just a smidgen intrigued by.
The struggles of life come crashing down in The Whale. The Blu-ray digital for, what do we got?
Ooh, $22. My God, man, that's actually reasonable. Man, are they sure they priced this right? Oh, yeah, man. Not bad, actually, especially for some Academy Award-winning love. Oh, man, dude. Like I said at Walmart, this movie got to me. It really just wrecked me emotionally. Man, it really, truly did, dude. But I was fine with that. As long as it's got an intriguing story with great characters and a story that I'm absolutely invested in, then I don't mind getting the waterworks going, baby. I don't mind at all, dude. God knows there's been so many movies that I have bawled my eyes out at. And I guess now we're adding The Whale to the list as well. Why not, dude? I mean, seriously, it's just so well done in every single aspect. I mean, with the directing. I mean, come on, Darren Aronofsky, dude. I mean, this guy is one hell of a talent, but man, he does some really intriguing stuff. Like, one minute he'll do like artsy stuff like The Fountain or Mother, which makes no goddamn sense, and then he'll do something really more reality based and hard hitting like The Wrestler or The Whale. I mean, hard hitting stuff like that is real and in your face and you can relate to. Man, that is some really great work that he does, and I give him credit because he does it well on both ends, right? I mean, he can really confuse you and make you intrigued by the stuff that you don't understand and the weird imagery and just some of the oddball choices that he makes, and then the next minute he'll do something so heartfelt and so powerful that you can't help but just cry your eyes out. That's the power of Darren Aronofsky, man. That truly, honestly is. But I've loved him for so long, man. I mean, come on. Requiem for a Dream. Noah wasn't half bad, but I love Black Swan. He's just one of those filmmakers, man, that I just love seeing the evolution of where he's going. And I can't wait to see what he does next. But, I mean, of course, the directing is fantastic because he's just that good of a director. But the acting. Oh, my God. The acting in this thing. Dude, Hong Chow was amazing. Oh, man, she really brought it, and she was hard-hitting, and I understood her struggles and what she was going through, trying to maintain this guy's health and his life, but yet so tough to just sort of sit there and see him crumbling right in front of her. Man, it was so powerful. And I gotta give a lot of love to Sadie Sink, because I think this girl has a real bright future ahead of her, man. I mean, I love her in Stranger Things. I've loved some of the stuff that she's done on Netflix, some of the horror stuff that she's done. But seeing this movie,
she has a great future ahead of her, man. If she really wants to make hard-hitting dramas, she's got it. She is the package. She is a beautiful young woman. On top of that, she can impeccably act so well and keep up with professionals like Hong Chow or Brendan Fraser, you name it. She is just that good, man, and I can't wait to see what she does next. But come on, the MV motherfucking P of this movie is the man himself, Brendan Fraser, man. This guy is, dude, I love Brendan Fraser. I can't say enough great things about him, and I'm so happy that he won the Oscar for Best Actor. I really do, because he deserved it. I remember when I saw this, he had won the Oscar a couple days prior, and I was like, okay, well, how good is his performance really gonna be? I mean, I know everybody's praising it, but come on, man. I mean, there were so many great performances. I mean, Austin Butler as Elvis was amazing, guys. I mean, come on. Colin Farrell and Banshees of Inisherin, amazing stuff. How good can Brendan Fraser really be? And then I watched the movie and I was blown away. I'm like, oh, okay, hands down, this man deserved it, okay? And Brendan Fraser, to me, dude, he's part of my childhood. He's part of my love of movies growing up. I mean, whether it's George of the Jungle or Encino Man, Airheads, School Ties, The Scout with Honors, Dudley Do-Right. Oh, man. Oh, dude, Blast from the Past, Gods and Monsters, The Mummy. Oh, dude. Seriously, Brendan Fraser has been amazing when I was younger. And I idolized the dude so much, and I loved him. He was one of my favorites, and he just went away into obscurity. And I kept asking myself, why? Why did he? I mean, yeah, some of the movies didn't do so great. Yeah, he wasn't in some of the best ones later on, but I mean, he was still Brendan Fraser, man. He was so good. And you know, I heard the whole story about how Hollywood was abandoning him, how people were telling him in the industry, Hollywood executives, that his looks were fading. He wasn't the popular hunky guy anymore, and people were trying to screw him over and ruin his life. And it really got to him, and it got to his mental state, and the overeating and the indulging himself, and really sort of feeling like he was worthless because Hollywood had just thrown him away. They used him up and they threw him like trash. But he never gave up, dude. He came back stronger than ever, man. I mean, the fact that he came back to Doom Patrol, doing that show, and how great he's been with that show. And he's one of the best highlights of that program, dude. And how he just fought every inch of the way to get back to being who he was, and how everybody supported him, man, including myself. And to see him stand up on that stage and win that Oscar and defy the odds, that's a great story, dude. And Brendan Fraser absolutely fucking deserves that Oscar, man. He absolutely does. And now he's got it. But I don't want Brendan Fraser to go away, man. I want him to stay around, man, because he's just that precious to me as an actor and as someone who I've loved so many of his movies, and just the moments of him on screen that I just cherish. I love the guy. And this performance, man, it was awe-inspiring. And I was crying because I was like, my God, man, it's so fucking good. He's so fucking phenomenal in this movie, dude. He's giving it his all. And he deserves to give it his all, man. And I'm just so happy that he's back, dude. You have no idea how happy I am that he's back. Because, you know, it really is a great lesson that,
You know, the world is going to chew you up and it's going to throw you away. But don't give up, man. You can eventually come back and be better than you were and come back stronger. And Brendan Fraser is proof positive of that, man. God, he really is, dude, man. God, it got to me. I'm so happy that he got that Oscar, man. Dude absolutely deserves it. Man, such nostalgia from my childhood. And, man, I just can't wait to see what he does next, man. He absolutely deserves all of the love that he's gotten because he's just that good, dude. God, he is, man. And this movie, again, just really resonated with me in a big bad way because, true story, guys, my mother was over 400 pounds. No lie. At one point in her life, she was. And she decided to change. She got the gastric bypass surgery and completely changed her life around. She was close to death. And she was knocking on death's door in the biggest, baddest way, man. The overeating and just living an unhealthy lifestyle. And she turned it around. And I had to do so much to help her out with that. You know, change my eating habits and really support her. And I look at a movie like this, man, and I'm like, dude, this hits home for me. Man, this really gets to me because I was helping somebody out, my own family, that I love so much. And seeing her slowly dying, but knowing that I really couldn't do anything for her unless she wanted to do something for herself. And once she did, I was there every step of the way for her. And man, this movie just really brought up all those feelings and emotions, and damn, is it powerful, dude. It really is, man. This is, as I said earlier, powerful cinema, man. This is what cinema is all about, man. Emotions and feelings, and really bringing them up and giving you an emotional response that truly makes you feel for everything that you're seeing on screen, man. And damn, does it do it well. It really does. They just don't make them like The Whale much anymore, dude. They used to so much back in the day, man. The 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and somehow we've gotten away from that. I don't mind the superhero films. I don't mind, you know, the big bombastic blockbusters, but every once in a while, I want a good tearjerker. I want a good meaty drama. And The Whale gave it to me. And God bless this movie's heart, dude, because it's so fucking good from top to bottom. Everybody involved, directing, acting, cinematography, the special effects with the makeup and everything that they did with Brendan Fraser, which, by the way, was absolutely phenomenal. I thought that was amazingly well done. I mean, everything is top notch here, and this movie deserves so much love. And I'm glad it's getting it, man. I really am, dude. Man, it's so good. I mean, you get a couple of special features. People are amazing, and the sounds of the sea, but it's fine. I'm cool. I would have loved more. I would have loved an audio commentary. I would have loved more featurettes, but hey, I'll take what I can get because, man, The Whale is just that absolutely phenomenal. This is what cinema is all about. Oh, absolutely it is, baby. I dare you to disagree with my ass. Oh, damn, it's just so fucking good, dude. Ooh, but if you thought that was the end of it, I mean, yes, we wanted to show off the dramatic love, but there's a little bit more dramatic love to show off. Yes, indeed. It's not just here. It's also, bam, baby, right there. A little bit of Mill Creek love, anybody? With Requiem for a Heavyweight. Oh, yes, man. Anthony Quinn, Mickey motherfucking Rooney, Jackie Gleason. Wow. Man, I haven't thought about this movie in forever. Holy shit, man. I think this was like 1962, 63, somewhere around there. Oh, man. Dude, I watched this way back in the day, man. God, like times when I was watching stuff with my father, man, long time ago. Yeesh. Wow, this is a forgotten gem, man. Basically, it's about Anthony Quinn, and he's this boxer who is really on the verge of retiring. Well, he kind of has to retire because if he fights one more time, if he gets hit in the head again, pretty much he can just completely just lose all of his faculties and, yeah, it ain't gonna be good, man. And so his trainer, Mickey Rooney, this girl that he meets, everyone's trying to like steer him towards getting something outside of the ring. But his manager, played by Jackie Gleason, he's got issues with the mob and money problems. And so he's got to get his boy back in the ring one more time. Do or die, it doesn't matter. He's got to get him in the ring. Because if he doesn't, no, he's the dead man. Oh, yes, man. It is so good, so dramatic, absolutely well acted. Oh, fantastic. It's one that nobody really ever talks about, man. I mean, when you're talking about Mickey Rooney, that doesn't come up. Jackie Gleason doesn't come up at all. Anthony Quinn, no way, man. But it's a really good little underrated boxing classic. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some really great boxing movies out there. I mean, Rocky has lasted the test of time. Hell, the franchise is still continuing, for Christ's sake, man. And there's some really great ones out there that are really just as good, but maybe not as classic. Like The Boxer from 1997 with Daniel Day-Lewis. That's a really phenomenal film, man. Fantastic. You gotta watch that, man. If you like Daniel Day-Lewis, that's one to check out, man. Of course, there's also Champions from 1949 with Kirk Douglas. Oh, that's a forgotten gem, man. That's a really great one. Definitely worth exploring. Also, The Harder They Fall with Humphrey Bogart. In fact, The Harder They Fall is actually Humphrey Bogart's last film. True story. It's a really good flick, man. Well worth watching. I mean, those are ones that nobody ever brings up. I mean, you might not remember them, but I do. Oh, I do indeed, man. It was the old school times watching movies with my father. My father loved a lot of those boxing style movies, the old black and white ones, so we watched them. And they kind of stuck in my brain, man. Kind of like Requiem for a Heavyweight. I mean, I think the boxing sequences are really great. Yeah, it's not as good as Rocky or Raging Bull, but it's kind of hard to be on the same league as those movies. But it definitely does the trick, man. It does indeed. Look, it's got some great dramatic moments. The acting is top notch here. And it's just a really sad, heartbreaking story about a man that's trying to get out, but being pulled back in and just doing it one more time for the person that he loves and cares about, and figures, I can't let my boy down, man. And it's just, it gets to you, man. It really does. It's a little bit of a tearjerker as well, man. Just seeing this guy on his last legs doing this one last one just for the guy that he's cared about, his friend, and the dangers of it, man. It's so phenomenal, man. It's really great. And you can kind of see how maybe even Rocky series kind of took inspiration from Requiem for a Heavyweight as well. If you watch it, you'll definitely kind of see it, man. Hell, there's even an interesting cameo by Muhammad Ali as well, man. So, well worth exploring. If you like boxing movies, check it out. You could be surprised how much you might like it. Just saying, man. Not bad. A little bit of Mill Creek heavyweight boxing love. How they actually even have the Coraline 4K Steelbook as well, I was noticing. I was like, yo, that's cool, man. Coraline's so good, man. The Steelbook. Ooh, that's looking pretty sweet. Not bad, man. $35 for Steely Shout Factory Love ain't bad. We saw some of the other ones before. Nice to see Coraline, too. Pretty sweet. Some good dramatic boxing love, Oscar-worthy performances, grumpy old men, and even more Academy love, man. Not bad. The drama is definitely thick here, and I'm definitely digging it. Not too shabby, baby. Let's head out. Well, alright, I guess you did your due diligence, didn't you, Barnes & Noble? I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than Target, and Lord knows it's miles better than the second Walmart, so I'll take it. We didn't get everything. We didn't get that good old Walking Dead love, but, well, I don't think we're missing much. I don't think we're missing much indeed, man. Hey, we got the Academy Award-winning drama goodness. Hell, we got even a little bit of Mill Creek surprise. So, hey,
not shabby at all, man. Like I said, not too shabby indeed. I will take it. And come on, I just love hanging out at Barnes & Nobles. I mean, just looking at the physical media, all of it, baby. Look at this. Oh, the bonanza of media love. I just love basking in it. It just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, it really does, man. But I guess we came, we conquered the physical media love here at good old BNN and all over the place, or at least we try to. But I suppose that does it for the in-store goodness. How about we head home and finish the video?
Alright, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And okay, look, it was just okay, alright? I mean, look, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't the greatest, it was decent. And I'll take that, man. Look, I've realized to myself that certain weeks are gonna be crazy wild, so much stuff to show off and talk about. Man, you'll have damn near 5-hour videos, okay, man? It'll be fucking crazy and wild. And then other weeks, just sort of riding the status quo, so to speak. I think this was not crazy, not great, not awful. It's kind of just in the middle. And I can definitely appreciate that, man. I mean, certain things had more than others. Walmart had more than Target. That rarely can be said. Of course, the second Walmart continues to just be the second Walmart. And hey, at least Barnes & Nobles was a nice bounce back. So, a little bit here, a little bit there. Overall, hey, I can't complain. Physical media is great, and showing off new stuff regardless of what it is and where I can get it is always and will always be appreciated. That is for damn sure, guys. Hopefully you picked up something good. There is a hell of a lot of Oscar drama love out there this week. Oh boy, there is. So hopefully if you like it, it's all yours, baby. As far as I'm concerned, yes, I picked up a few things. Oh, I did, man. This is another crazy haul, man. I swear to God, dude, I don't plan this shit. All right? I really don't, man. Sometimes I just get the craziest hauls, some amazing stuff that comes in the mail, and oh, man. This week is so good, dude. I said I was gonna kind of buy less in 2023, and it kind of seems like I'm not. I swear, I'm trying to hold back, guys. Just too good, dude. Oh, man. So, first off, I picked up a few things in the stores. One of them that I did, well, I'm talking about Oscar love, I'm talking about great dramas, and this one has to be part of the collection, and that is none other than The Whale. Oh, yes, baby. God, Brendan Fraser, I need this in my collection, man. Look, this is not a movie that I'm going to necessarily go back to constantly, because, man, it really brought up a hell of a lot of emotions, and it's kind of depressing and dark, and, oof, it's, man, it triggers all kinds of things in you, okay? But it is so well done. It is so well dramatic. It is so well acted and well directed. And I was so intrigued, and I so much loved this movie, regardless of how it made me feel at times, that I just have to have it in the collection, man. I just truly do. And this is one that I, man, absolutely adored. And just the performance from Brendan Fraser alone needs to have its place in the collection. There is no doubt about it, man. I loved this movie. And Brendan Fraser deserves the Oscar. It deserves all the nominations that it has gotten. And I truly feel like, you know, there are certain movies, dramas out there, Academy Award-winning dramas, that have kind of gotten forgotten over time. It's not that they're necessarily bad movies, but they weren't so spectacular enough to continue within the popular zeitgeist, so to speak. And there's a lot of people that, frankly, honestly, can't even remember some of these dramas, or even the fact that they won an Oscar. I guarantee you The Whale is going to be remembered, man. It truly is, just for the subject matter and for the fact of the powerful performance that Brendan Fraser gives. that is going to carry this film for a lifetime. And I guarantee it, dude. I will always love this movie. It really brought up so many kinds of different emotions and feelings that I've had over the years in my life and experiences. And I never thought this movie could do that, could make me feel this way, but it did. And that is powerful cinema, man. It truly, honestly is. And The Whale is the best of it. Oh, man. I can't say it'll make you feel all kinds of happy, but you'll have feelings all right. And, man, will it make you feel all kinds of love for my man, Brendan Fraser. Oh, it truly will, dude. I have a lot of Brendan Fraser performances in the collection, and yet add another one to the list. Oh, that's for damn sure, baby. The Whale. Pretty damn sweet. Oh, indeed it is, man. But that wasn't the only new release love that I wanted, because, yes, you can have dramatic performances by Brendan Fraser. Of course you can. But adding a little grumpiness to the collection, that ain't half bad either. Oh, yes, with a man called Otto. Oh, hell yes, baby. I needed to buy this. Okay, yes, I love Tom Hanks. I don't have all Tom Hanks movies in the collection, but I happen to want this one, man. Again, being in the movie theater with my mother, the laughs and the charm and the humor and the drama and the great characters and the dialogue. I just love this movie, man. And it really was a great time in the movie theater, just having a great time with a great character piece of a film. And that's what I appreciate, man. You know, as I said earlier, you know, me getting older, my movie tastes are changing. I'm never going to lose that sense of the weird and the odd that I've always loved, or the big blockbusters, you know, the sci-fi fantasy goodness that I love buying. But, you know, I've always been a fan of these type of movies, but I've opened my mind to them even more as I've gotten older, and my sensibilities as a person has changed, and these movies hit closer to me than maybe they used to even 10 years ago. I really did like this, man, and I thought Tom Hanks did a great performance, and I love the story, and I think it deserves a place in my collection. I truly do. It's not going to be everybody's jam, but for a guy like me, as I get older, yeah, it's definitely starting to be. I'm not going to lie, man. A Man Called Otto is a movie where the grumpiness is actually kind of charming. Oddly enough. And I'll definitely take it, man. Not half bad for more Tom Hanks love in the collection. That's for damn sure. Pretty damn sweet overall. But if you think that was it, oh, you're sadly mistaken. Oh, you indeed are, because there's more to show off. Because, you know, when I was at Target and I was looking at the physical media, whatever they had of it, and I noticed that there was a deal that was going on, that basically you could get 20% off any movie, book, whatever it was, as long as it wasn't for like a sale price or a new release or whatever. And I was like, okay, I usually don't take advantage of them, but I was looking around and I'm like, this movie I don't have in the collection, 4K love at that, and a nostalgic movie that I love from back in the day in my childhood, and a classic at that. Why don't I have it yet? And I figured, okay, 20% off. Okay, I'll do it. And this is definitely worth it. Finally having in the collection. Actually back in the collection, because I used to have it on DVD a long time ago. But it's back where it definitely belongs. And that is none other than Jurassic Park. Oh, look at this, baby. The 4K love for Jurassic Park goodness. Oh, bet your ass it is, man. And, you know, look, I love this movie. And for me, it's one of those classic movies that never goes out of style, right? No matter what decade we're going to be in, no matter how many times I've seen it, I always love this movie. And it's one of those classics that just, you can pop in and feel like a kid again just watching it. And
when I realized that I didn't have this in the collection yet, and it had just passed me by for some ungodly reason, I just never bought it, and I still don't understand the freaking reason why I never did. I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of this, man. It's 4K goodness. There's a ton of special features. Slipcover was in pretty decent condition, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger, man. I mean, there's something tells me that most likely next year there's gonna be a big edition of it, or steelbook, or whatever. I'm probably gonna have to rebuy the damn thing. But for the meantime, I have to have this in the collection. And really, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, it's the only Jurassic movie worth having in the collection. And I know that's gonna be controversial for you guys, but look, the only other one I'd ever buy is maybe The Lost World. Yeah, I kind of like Jurassic Park 3, but I don't need to technically own that. I mean, the Jurassic World movies, I don't like any of them, dude. I mean, maybe the first Jurassic World is okay at best, but that's about it, man. The only one ever that's truly classic that everyone else was aping off of is Jurassic Park. And I just love the creations with the dinosaurs. I love the mix of the CGI and puppetry. I love the actors in here. I mean, Jeff motherfucking Goldblum, baby. I mean, come on. I mean, Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Richard Attenborough. It's so great. Oh my god, dude. There's so much really great stuff to dive into with this movie, and the park and the chaos. And I remember seeing this back in the day on the big screen, and you just had to be there, dude. And every time that I watch this, almost feels like the first time, because it's so iconic and so classic. And I'm always telling you guys that the classics never go out of style. Proof positive. Just saying, man. Proof positive indeed. I dare you to prove me wrong, man. But it's nice to have a little bit of 4K love in the collection. Jurassic style. The only one worth having. Just saying. Don't hate on me, folks. Don't hate on me indeed. Not bad for the love or that. But then, oh, there's more. Oh, yes, indeed. Because this is a steelbook that I've been wanting for a very long time, man. I remember telling you back when the sequel came out on physical that I was going to get it come hell or high water, man, because I can't just have the sequel. I have to have the original with it. And finally, the Steelbook Love is coming home. Indeed it is, with Downton Abbey. Ah, yes. Oh, the Steely Love, man. Not bad, baby. Oh, finally I can add it to the collection. A little bit of British sophistication. Oh, man, dude. You know, look, I love this movie. I love this movie series. And I'm slowly but surely diving into the TV show, and I love that just as much, man. And for me, it's kind of hard to even quantify why I love this, man. I'm not much for these British type of sophisticated shows, man. From old school back in the day, like, you know, Castle and Royal Family stuff. Like, I'm not into that usually. But there was something about the characters and the quirkiness and the humor and the drama that really just pulled me in, man. And you can even take the sequel. My mother had never even seen this movie or saw the show, and she loved the sequel. And you could just plop somebody into any number of the episodes or any one of the movies, and you can just fall in love with these characters. And that's what I dig, man. It's so good and infectiously fun and great character drama, and I just really dig it, man. And I needed to have the steelbook in the collection. I really did, dude. And yes, it took me a while to finally get it, to be fair. But oh, there was so many things to buy, and I took my time, okay? But finally I got it. The Steely Love. It's worth it. Come on now. And now to have the Downton Abbey movie and the Downton Abbey sequel together, yeah, not bad. I just now have to get the actual show itself. More physical media ventures. Not half bad, baby, but hey,
Who doesn't love British sophistication when it's done right? And Downton Abbey was definitely one of them. Not bad, baby. For a little bit of steely love. But, oh, by the way, speaking of steely goodness, yeah, about that. There was a couple of steelbooks that came out this week. Yeah, there was, wasn't there? Yeah, there is. And, oh, by the way, I might have picked them up. I might have, man. And actually, one of them is an upgrade in the collection, because I've had the Blu-ray forever, but the steelbook looks so great, I couldn't resist. And if you're gonna upgrade, you're gonna upgrade a little bit of Antonio Banderas love with The Mask of Zorro. Oh, yes, baby, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, baby, Antonio Banderas. Oh, man, he dons the Zorro suit pretty damn well. Oh, absolutely, baby. Nice, sweet indeed. Oh, that's cool. Come on, man. You can't deny that shit. Oh, so good. Look, I'm not the hugest fan of the Zorro character. I'm really not, man. Like, I've seen some of the stuff back in the day, the old school things, and they're all right. They're not great. It doesn't really light my fire. But I remember when this movie came out, and it was so fun and adventurous, and the action was great, and I loved the humor, and Antonio Banderas' charm, and Anthony Hopkins was badass, and it was so good. And it was the first time that I had ever seen Catherine Zeta-Jones on screen. And man, oh, I'll never forget it, baby. Oh, Lord, it was so good, and I love the swashbuckling aspect to it, and it was just a really great fun time at the movies, and I just dug it. I really did, and it always stuck with me. I had the DVD, and then when the Blu-ray came out, I got the Blu-ray, and now, shit, I'll upgrade to the 4K, man. Man, why not, dude? It's just a really great Antonio Banderas role. He was born to play Zorro, man. He's so good. And the first movie is fantastic. However, the second movie, I'm not a fan of the second movie, dude. I don't know. Like, I really wanted to love it, but it just didn't really grip me, and I wasn't as excited by the movie as what I was with the first film, man. And I love this film so much. I mean, directed by Martin Campbell, who directed GoldenEye, directed Casino Royale. I mean, come on, dude. The guy knows action, all right, and he does it spectacularly here as well. It's so good. The characters are really wonderful, and I just love the swashbuckling action, and man, they just don't make them like this movie anymore, man. You can have all the CGI in the world, you can have, big CGI monsters fighting each other, but when it's mano a mano, sword to sword, fighting for your honor, for revenge, nothing beats it, baby. And Zorro, the classics never go out of style, as I keep on saying, and this is one of them. Oh, yeah, it's pretty damn sweet, and you gotta dig it. Oh, I truly do. Not bad, baby, for that love. But that's not all yet, folks. You thought it was, didn't you? Yeah, you thought. You're not getting off that easy, because there's one more Steely to go. And this one I have never had in the collection, but when I knew they were bringing out that 4K Steely goodness, I couldn't resist, because I love me some Harrison Ford. And when he's the President of the United States, well, you don't fuck with him, baby. You get off of his goddamn plane with Air Force One. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Damn, do I love this movie, dude. This is a great action thrill ride, man. The bad guys taking over Air Force One, and President Ford having a kick-ass. Oh, so good. Oh, fucking hell, man. Gary Oldman plays the bad guy. He's so fucking great here, man. I love him in this, dude. William H. Macy, Glenn Close. Oh, so good. Dude, this is a phenomenal film, man. And it's actually one that's kind of gotten forgotten over time, actually. I mean, if you really think about it, when you think of Harrison Ford, you don't think of Air Force One. When you think of Gary Oldman, this doesn't really come up. I mean,
it's one of those really great movies where you watch it, you enjoy it, and then after a while you're kind of like, yeah, that airplane movie with Harrison Ford. And it just kind of, it's not that it's not memorable, because it is. I really love this movie, but it's not the most recognizable one you go back to constantly over and over again. But it's a solid little action movie that I've always really appreciated and really loved. And I just think the performances are great. I love the president kicking ass against the bad guys. I love Gary Oldman here being smarmy and evil, and he's so good at evil roles, dude. I love him, man. Whether it's in like The Fifth Element or Lost in Space or some shit, like I've always loved Gary Oldman playing the real mean bad guy asshole type, man. He's so good at it, man. It's so great, and it's one of those sort of what if scenarios. What if the president was captured and held hostage on Air Force One, and they're in the air, and Secret Service can't get to them, and it's just all this stuff, man. I mean, they've made like Gerard Butler movies based on that premise alone, man. The whole like, White House has fallen crap, that angel fallen, whatever the fuck that shit is, man. I mean, they've made movies based on the whole concept and idea of the president being taken hostage and somebody has to rescue him. But honestly, yeah, Gerard, you're okay, but you ain't no Harrison Ford. Oh, that's for damn sure, man. You are not at all. Oh, pretty damn sweet. Look at that. Pretty cool, dude. Not bad. I've always loved the movie, man. It's a tight little thriller, great action spectacle, and I happen to appreciate it, man. Not bad. To finally have in the collection, and oh, by the way, Steely Love at that. Look at that artwork. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty cool indeed. Get on the edge of your seat for a thrill ride where the president kicks Gary Oldman's ass. Man, I never thought I'd say those words. But this movie definitely proves that you just don't fuck with the president. Especially when he's as grumpy as Harrison Ford. Just saying. Just saying indeed, man. Not bad for that, love. But we've got one more title left, man. I know, it's been crazy. I've had one hell of a haul. But this one is special because I thought this was out of print. I'm not even lying, dude. Like, for the longest time, this thing was actually out of print. And I was watching someone else's video. Somebody made a comment about this being in stock on Amazon, and you bet your ass, I stopped the video, went on Amazon, saw that it was in stock, and fucking ordered that shit immediately, dude, because I can't beat Stephen King love, and especially when it's this goddamn good, because this movie, man, is one of the best, and that is none other than The Mist. Oh, yes, baby, damn. The 2-disc collector edition love of The Mist, man. And it is true. This thing was out of print for the longest goddamn time, dude. And for some weird reason, I can't even explain why. Suddenly, Amazon had it in stock for like $11 and change. And I'm like, click, 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 click. I was on that like a badass motherfucker, dude. I was on it big time because I have the DVD. I've had the DVD for the longest time, and the reason why I've held on to the DVD is because this was out of print and I was never able to get it. And I always wanted to upgrade it, but there was always other things to get, and the next thing you know, it's out of print, and you're like, ah, fuck, man. So I could have went on eBay, yes, but you know my thoughts on eBay. It sometimes is a jungle out there and not a good one. So I held back, thinking maybe one of these days, somehow, some way, I'll get it. And, well, patience pays off, man. It really does. Ooh, very nice indeed, man. Look, I love me Stephen King adaptations. You guys know that. Lord knows I've talked about them enough. But The Mist has got to be one of the best ones, man. Take this crazy premise of aliens or weird creatures and this mist and being caught up in this store with everybody else and the tensions and all of the heated arguments, and it just comes to a very like heated and dangerous edge to it, and man, it is so good, and it's gripping, and it's thrilling, and it's dangerous, and I just love it, man. I really do, because not only do you have to worry about the creatures, but you also have to worry about the people that are inside the store with you, because yes, creatures are dangerous by nature, but humans, well, they can adapt, and that can be pretty damn dangerous indeed. Oh, it truly can, man. This is so good. I love Thomas Jane in this movie. I love Frank Darabont's direction. I love the design of the creatures. I love the atmosphere, and I love the building tension. It's so good, man. It really is. And that ending, still to this goddamn day, man, that ending is unlike any other, man. It hits you in the stomach like a fucking gut punch, and you just leave the movie theater, you're stunned. You can't speak. You're like, oh my fucking god, dude. Like, this movie had the balls to have that ending, and I fucking appreciate it all the fucking time. It's so good. Oh, it really is, man. And I just love the fact that this not only has the colored version, but the black and white version. And I've seen the black and white version, and I think the black and white is just as great as the color version, man. They're both really fantastic, but it's so good. And to finally have it on Blu-ray after such a long time of thinking that I'll never have it. It is true what they say. All good things come to those who wait. Oh, it does, man. Not bad indeed. Pretty goddamn sweet. Patience pays off. What am I talking about? Physical media pays off, because, oh, baby, talk about one hell of a haul. Woo! Let me tell you something, man. There are weeks where I am definitely doing my due diligence as a physical media lover, and I think you'll agree that this is one of them. And before I let you go, I gotta talk about this, guys. Now, look, I've talked about streaming wars, I've talked about old school nostalgia. Perhaps we're putting the two together? Perhaps. From Cord Cutter News, Blockbuster's website is returning from the dead? Oh my god, where are we going with this? Let's dive in, shall we? Blockbuster, once the #1 place to get a movie to watch, is now done to just one location. That just won't die. Now it seems like Dish may be up to something with Blockbuster once again. Recently, Dish, the parent company behind Blockbuster, updated the Blockbuster website with a new message that just says, "We are working on rewinding your movie." This is the first update to the Blockbuster website in almost 10 years, but Blockbuster's social media has been alive and well recently. Over the last few years, the Blockbuster Twitter account has been busy with the fun tweets making fun of themselves and the failure of their company. Most of the social media actions seem to be an effort to promote the now also failed Blockbuster show on Netflix, so why is Dish now pushing Blockbuster again and updating the Blockbuster website? Many have speculated that Dish may be bringing back a Blockbuster streaming service. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, Dish had a Blockbuster streaming service that offered movies and TV shows for rent and sale. Now, it is very possible that Blockbuster may be coming back as a streaming service. Oh man, more streaming services. Just what we need. Recently, Dish launched a free ad-supported streaming service called Sling Free Stream. This service is an effort to push Sling TV and allows you to use Sling TV's app without even handing over a credit card. So it seems unlikely that Dish would want a Blockbuster streaming service competing with Sling TV's free streaming service. Yeah, that is true. For now, we will have to wait and see what Dish is up to, but it is very possible Dish is hoping to capitalize on the nostalgic love of Blockbuster's simpler times that has been growing over the last few years. Oh, perhaps they are. Maybe, kinda, sorta. I don't know. It is Blockbuster after all. And nostalgia is a bitch, ain't it? Oh, it truly is. Holy hell, man. Damn. Is Blockbuster really coming back? Oh, say it ain't so. Oh, man. Okay. what do I ultimately think about this? Because you gotta remember something. Blockbuster at one time was the biggest video rental chain ever. I mean, they were taking down the mom and pop stores, everybody was going, and they were kind of like the enemy, right? I mean, if you really think about it. And years later, after all of the mom and pop stores are gone and physical media is not what it once was, Blockbuster is barely holding on. And it's one of the last few remaining ones that was still there. And hatred turned to a certain amount of appreciation, I would say. And that appreciation turned to nostalgia, and now we barely ever remember the times when Blockbuster was competing with the mom and pop outlets and taking them out of business and, you know, upcharging for more of the rental fees and all of the crazy crap that they were doing. I mean, you tend to forget all that stuff, man. It's kind of thrown out the window. Now you just have nostalgia for it. And now we're only down to one Blockbuster store left. And one of these days, I gotta go visit that place, man. I ain't gonna lie, dude. It is one of the bucket list ones I have to do, okay? And for me now, I think to myself, okay, well, the video rental service is just no more, right? Everything is done streaming, either that or you're going to Redbox, but, you know, even Redboxes are not what they used to be either. So when I heard they kind of got up and running again with the website, I'm like, okay, this is weird, man. Like, where are we going with this? And, you know, the article says, hey, maybe they're doing a streaming service, but it's weird if they're going to compete with another dish service as well. Are they trying to compete with Netflix? Because that would be crazy, man, considering the fact that Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix and never fucking did it. And Netflix ended up basically putting the nail in the coffin on Blockbuster. So the fact that Blockbuster would eventually come back with a streaming service to compete with Netflix is just fucking wild to me, man. It's just crazy. And man, we're living in weird times, man. The streaming wars are nutty. And man, just one more reason to just think that this is just all going crazy, and it's just fascinating to watch. It really is, dude. I ain't gonna lie, man. Oh god, man, it's ridiculous. But would you want a Blockbuster streaming service? I think that's really the more question about it, because what is Blockbuster gonna do as far as the streaming service is concerned? Because you can't technically wrestle the content away from these other studios, because Paramount has their own streaming service, Universal has their own, you have Netflix's one, you have Disney has theirs, plus they have a stake in Hulu as well. So I mean, you have all that. Amazon has their Prime. So where are you getting this content from? Unless you're making original content, unless you're putting the millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that need to be put in order for any streaming service to be successful, just throwing content in your eyeballs. But in order to do that, you need to make sure that you have a sure thing in order for people to want to watch your service. You have to have IP. You have to have known properties in order to make this worth anybody's while, in order to want to subscribe. It's got to be the right price point. You've got to have the right content. You have to have that nostalgic feel of this streaming service in order to bring people in, to bring the masses in. I don't know if that's gonna be possible, man. I mean, having nostalgia for Blockbuster is not a bad thing, for the old video rental days. But trying to replicate that in a streaming service, I don't think that's really possible, man. So I don't know what this means. Does this mean that they're doing a streaming service? Does it mean that Blockbuster is coming back to the video rental days, which would be cool? I'd be up for it, but I don't think they'd survive very long. I don't think they would, man. I don't know what this means. I mean, I will always have love for Blockbuster. I will always do it because Blockbuster was one of those things where I would go in on a Friday night, man, with my mother or my friends, and I would just go around like for hours, just going around the store and just looking at the titles and the descriptions and the artwork, and I would just go gaga and apeshit over that stuff, and I love it, and I miss it so dearly, man, I really do, but I just don't know why Dish is deciding to do this now, of all times, 2023. This is the year of our Lord that we're gonna finally bring Blockbuster back. Okay, cool, but maybe you should have done this many years ago, when the streaming wars weren't as intense, when there wasn't Disney Plus and Apple TV and, you know, Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus and Peacock and everything else, when you really only ever had to compete with Netflix. Maybe you should have tried to do it then, but I guess better late than never. Maybe? I don't know, man. This is just crazy to me, dude. We're living in crazy times. I mean, I love nostalgia, but man, it only goes so long, and it works both ways. Yeah, you can have nostalgia, but it's got to be done right in order for it to work. Can Dish make the nostalgia work for Blockbuster? I guess, but, well, we'll wait and see. What do you think about this? What do you think Dish is doing with Blockbuster? Do you think that there's actually a recipe for success for what Dish can do with it? Or do you think that that boat has sailed a long time ago and there ain't no saving it, man? I mean, what do you think? Definitely let me know, man. It's fascinating. I love Blockbuster. I always will have nostalgia for it. The old school times, but that's the old school times. And replicating the old school times into the new school days, yeah, not so easy. Yeah, not so easy indeed, man. Definitely let me know what you think about that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos that I do, movie reviews with my friends, Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, and so much more. A lot of the older content and newer stuff that is slowly but surely coming your way as well. I appreciate everybody who watches, man. I know that these videos are long and they're complicated and I talk, but you guys really are willing to engage with me and love watching the videos and giving me great feedback, and it is really appreciated, man. It is tough doing these videos week in and week out, man. The grind of it, it's not easy to pull it off, but I do it for you guys because you love what I do, and man, that love really feeds me, and I want to give that love and appreciation right back to you. So I hope I do, man. So if you love what I do, movies, physical media, definitely hit subscribe. Also, keep up to date with everything I'm doing with Instagram and Facebook. FilmFan108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you want to send the movie channel any love, you can. The P.O. box is in the description below. Look, it is not expected, but it's definitely appreciated. I know you guys have gone out of your way to send some amazing stuff to me, man. Things I never thought I'd get in a million years. You guys have sent some amazing surprises, and I've loved every single second of it. And if you do, hey, the P.O. box is open, and I cannot wait to see what I get next, man. You guys have sent amazing things, and we'll see where the adventure definitely goes next. I can't wait, dude. Can't wait indeed. But I guess that is it for the video. It's been a fun ride. Another journey into the physical media love. Oh, indeed it has been, man. The train keeps on going, and I'm going to stay on board it, man. And hopefully you will too. Definitely support movies, support physical media love. And come back next week for more physical media hijinks, man. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.